Hello?
Hello.
There's a way to do that. You
I
can,
can if you need me to.
no. Okay, so right click on source one, or whichever one it is, and near the bottom there should be an option called interact. Okay, yeah, so I think I can hear myself on the Pikmin community stream, but I can't hear you. That's very weird. Um, was mine also not doing that in the stream? Like at the end of it? Yeah, I don't know. This setup has like a microphone storage thing at the bottom, and I'm not really sure how that works.
Anytime where, like, at least I'm not gonna be able to watch it with the color.
Is the volume on? That's the thing. I'm not getting any audio out of this.
And there's a reason why.
Yeah, we can just chill in here. Oh, thank God I can hear people. That was scary.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, my stream looks like it's delayed by a few seconds because I guess my Wi-Fi's out or something. I'm actually using Ethernet, but so okay. Hey, can you guys see my auto splitter, or does that matter? weird. Maybe if I... No? Huh. That's weird. Yeah.
I'm not really sure why your mic isn't coming up. Yeah. Well,
It's
okay, so
because. Wait, can you hear it now? Yeah, I guess it'll
in
be the same.
OBS, is your mic muted?
No, well, it was. I just unmuted it, but I can hear myself in OBS.
Yeah, that happened for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, that's weird. But I did unmute now, so hopefully on stream. Although even before I had unmuted and I couldn't hear myself on stream, but
Hold on, say something again, then.
something again. Blah 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 blah. No.
Okay, yep, I can hear you on stream now.
Oh really? Okay, cool, 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 cool.
So how come my video isn't showing on isn't showing the auto splitter, the live split? Do you think?
How come it's not? You said.
Yeah,
Where is the auto splitter on your screen?
I'm streaming with the live split window and Dolphin playing at the same time.
Well, we've cropped it out so that on Pikmin Community it's only the
Oh,
game
okay,
done.
okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. I couldn't have put that in there then.
Let's see. Let me just
It's fine. It's fine.
mess with my sound a little bit because I feel like I'm still quiet. Properties.
So
All right. Hopefully it should be a little louder now. Let's see. Blah 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 blah.
Alright, looks like you guys got it handled, so I'm gonna head out. Good luck, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks.
thank you. So do I start now?
Let's see. Yeah, go to the start screen. Let me turn on. I guess I'll just pick random person's source audio. Wait. Oh, only source 2 has audio. Real quick, Electricfortune, can you like scroll in the menu like left and right? Just make sure your audio is coming through.
Now look up.
I don't think I'm getting audio from you. Let's see if your stream has audio.
Should be.
I mean, worst case scenario, we can just have audio from Ys101's stream, but
Yeah.
gotta get to the ad real quick.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's just weird. Is
Is my
your
audio going through?
yeah, your audio is going through fine.
Okay. I think I'm behind by like 10 seconds for some reason.
All right. Oh yeah,
stream
actually,
delay.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, you have audio on your stream. It's just not coming through OBS. Why?
Interesting.
Have you tried doing the advanced audio settings and then checking its monitor and output on OBS?
Let's see. Advanced audio settings. Is that the gear icon next to? Yeah. Okay. And then checking what?
Monitor and output on all the audio channels.
Monitor only, monitor and output. Okay. Mic on. Okay.
Ys, are you running with a memory card?
No, I don't have a memory card in.
Do you want one just in case you have to reset on a sub level or early blues or something?
That's probably smart. Why don't I'm sorry. Why don't I restart the Dolphin and figure this out? I'll be back up in a second.
Alright,
Yeah,
yeah,
take your
I'm
time.
still not getting Electricfortune's audio, but I guess we can just keep Ys' audio. Don't want to delay too much.
Yeah, Ys, you better win now because it's all on you.
Uh-oh.
I'll put on
That's not good.
I'll put on as much pressure as I need to.
Alright, I think the audio levels are good too. So yeah, just whenever you're ready. Oh, TCB, you can see my screen, right? With the like.
Yeah, I have them both up.
Cool.
If we want to give Ys a minute to use memory card. If not, we'll just go for it.
Yep, I'm doing that right now.
Alright.
Okay, give him a minute then.
Oh, let me pop out of the chat also real quick. Pop out of chat. What the heck is it? This. Double Lin. Wait, that doesn't mean that my audio is double.
What just happened? Oh, duh.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Okay, I'm back on now.
My audio is doubled. Yeah. Oh, let me try. Can I mute listening to myself? No. Like, I think the issue is that my audio is coming through Discord and through OBS, and I don't know why.
Oh, I think it's because I have my Discord open.
No,
There we go.
It's still happening, yeah. It was happening even before anyone else joined.
That's weird.
It must be some audio setting or something.
Maybe it's desktop audio recording your audio output on your PC.
But my audio shouldn't be coming out of my PC.
Okay.
Like, it should just be coming through my microphone in Discord or in OBS. So let me just try to find this real quick. Let's see. Can I mute a window? No. See, you set up the stream I set my mic to monitor only. Okay. Properties. Monitor only. Okay. I can still hear myself, but can the stream hear me? If the stream can't hear me, then it's all good. Okay, all right. If it's better on stream, I can deal with it. So, all right, cool. You ready to get ready?
Yep.
I'm ready.
I'm all good.
All right. Wait for. There we go. All right.
I'm choosing a new save file.
Okay. Are you guys also going to stay in the call during the race, or do you guys drop out?
I'll probably deafen.
Okay, yeah, just making sure.
That's it.
I can stay on if you want me to.
Well, because if we're talking about like what each person's doing, it might give stuff away. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say
okay.
we could pop out because if I just go, oh, and he got stupendous lens, then the other one's good. Wait for stupendous lens.
Yeah. Okay. I'll join. I'll drop off.
right, make sure you stay in for the countdown.
Yeah.
We did
Right.
not stay in for the
That was
countdown.
important.
Ready?
Let's get him back. We need the countdown.
No.
Hang on.
Oh, he left. Oh. It's scuffed. It's all going bad.
It's all done. Oh god, I don't even know his name in Discord.
It should be Ys101.
Not though. Because we all have the stupid names on, right? Okay, someone got him.
Oh, there
Good,
we go.
good.
All right, cool. You ready? Yes.
Are we ready to start announcing?
Okay, so
someone
one
got it.
ready.
Good,
All
good.
right, cool.
Yep, I'm ready.
You ready? All right. 3, 2, 1.
Are we ready
to
to start announcing?
I hear 1 ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Ys, are you not here? Wait. Oh, okay. All right, nice. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you guys
Alright,
can drop
but-
that if you want.
Ys, are you not here? Wait.
All right, so welcome to this round of the Pikmin 2 Pay Off Debt Tournament. We are going up against Electricfortune and Ys101 for this race. Right now, we are going to be starting from the beginning of the save file. Now, obviously, there's about a 6-second difference between our competitors, and we're just going to let that slide for now. If it comes down to less than 5 seconds, we will actually have to step in and say that it was Ys and not Electricfortune, but we will see. So, starting off with some really exciting tech smashing, we're going to be attempting the first trick in the run almost immediately, called Day 1 Extinction. Lynn, what's going on with Day 1 Extinction?
Yeah, so basically, on day 1, if you get an extinction, you get to skip the entire tutorial, which is a pretty nice time save. It makes it a little slower to grow Pikmin, because you have to, like, keep ending the day and then, like, come back. But it ends up being faster than doing the whole tutorial, and as you can see, they just throw the Pikmin out of bounds like that, and then, in a sec, they should whistle them, and they should fall to their deaths. And it is faster to kill Pikmin.
All right, so it looks like Electricfortune took the lead on Day 1 Extinction. Had a little bit of a cleaner. Both of them had a little bit of a cleaner Day 1 Extinction than I just did a couple of hours ago, so that's awesome. But
was your race earlier today, or were you just doing some practice?
It was earlier today, and I lost 50 whole seconds to Kemi within the first 2 minutes of the run.
Oh, well, I mean, Kemi's pretty good, so, I mean, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was within 50 seconds at the end, so we let it go. But that's okay.
Yeah,
Right now we go.
This should be a pretty close race. I'm thinking they have about a minute between their PBs, so hopefully it should be pretty good.
And one reset can totally change everything up. So we just have to grind through a little bit of the early game tutorial. Now, I'm surprised none of them went for that hot Day 1 run-up-the-wall strat that we have seen so many, and by that I mean like 3 people attempt ever. And luckily in the call, we have one of those people.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hey, I'm like, run up the wall. What are you talking about? Well, yeah, I've attempted it. I haven't actually done it, but I've attempted it. That's the, you're talking about the Bulborb clip, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so that's a very stupid trick that somehow there's one guy who is just, like, reasonably consistent at it, where you just get the Bulborb to push you up that ledge on the top left you're seeing on both people's screens right now, and you can use that to get to Emergence Cave early. Although it's not actually faster for RTA, just because it takes so long to do everything else, but yeah, that would be pretty annoying if it was faster, although I assume no one would ever go for it.
Well, that's probably true. So, right off the bat, we're going to see Electricfortune lure that Bulborb over to the Onion for a quicker collection. Now, unfortunately, he was not able to do the quick kill on it, but YS was, so we are right now seeing a very close race.
And it looks like YS just whistled and then redismissed Pikmin next to the dead Bulborb. Do you know if that's faster than them just kind of waiting on their own to become idle and grab it, or...?
It is unfortunately slower.
Oh, unfortunate.
Now, are we attempting Louis skip here? I certainly hope not.
Looks like there was one attempt.
Well, there was 2 attempts. One
Yeah.
failed, one succeeded. Okay, so Louis skip is a trick that is done. This cutscene that you're seeing Electricfortune go through right now, if you hit start on the same frame that the cutscene starts, you can skip this entire cutscene by canceling it out with the start menu. Now, for the most part, I know the racers have been agreeing just to not do it because it's very finicky, very exact, and can cost quite a bit of time, but it looks like these 2 agreed to go for it.
Yeah.
So Electric Fortune will lose some time on that. YS, on the other hand, has the opportunity to get it, and if they miss it without activating the cutscene, will still save time over Electric Fortune by doing it during day 4. If I was YS right now, I would actually not go for it and guarantee myself some time save, but we're going to see what he tries to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think can see the other person's stream, so he may just not know that they
Oh.
missed it. So yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
Unless he's cheating, maybe I don't know. You never know. It
No Louis skip.
Looks like YS, yeah, missed it again. I believe the way you know whether you got it is if the screen like flickers black for a second as you press start. Is that correct?
Yup, and actually when you go through that pause menu, it's just a little bit of an off color, but again, YS did not get it, and will actually save time on Electric Fortune regardless right now. That additional Pikmin that you get during the Louis cutscene would be really cool if it was your 15th Pikmin, because you need 15 Pikmin to crush the bag to let you out of the starting area.
Yeah.
However, it is just the 14th Pikmin, so it really doesn't do any good. So now YS is going to start day 4, which is really where the first above ground cool stuff comes out. And we're going to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
They have to... Absolutely. Pikmin 1. You don't know too much about that, right? Cool. Did you ever go under 1 hour? I think you... No, you did. Very nice. Okay. So you know a little bit about the above ground optimization of Pikmin 1. Yeah, this is actually pretty darn similar to that. Now it looks like YS is going to be able to take a little bit of a lead here. Now the next thing coming up is something called Egg Push. There are 3 eggs at the top of that ledge right behind the rocket ship that you see on the screen, and they are going to use the captains to push that egg down the ledge to be able to nectar the Pikmin faster. Now, YS chooses to leave Louis at the base of the hill, which is okay. But it is a lot of pressure to get it on your first try if you do that, because Louis can be used to save the egg push if it fails. But we're going to see what YS has in store for us. Very close. He's got to run back up. That, folks, that's why you want to bring Louis up to the top. You just switch Louis, push it down, you're all done. But let's see if YS can get it now. Okay, do not go back up that ledge, folks. He can use red Pikmin to push that egg down because it is so close.
He is at risk of ledge nectar, however, so no.
Nah, he's fine. It'll push down before it breaks. They can't attack it on the slope. The Pikmin itself acts sort of like...
Okay, I did not know that.
Oh, he does not know that, actually, so he's going for it one last time here. Can he push it down? Yes, he can. Okay. So right now, I'd imagine that the two of them are going to be pretty close entering Emergence Cave. Oh, we got Mitites.
Oh,
this is interesting. This is actually interesting because now YS is going to break open an 8 Pikmin lead to Electric Fortune. If he does choose to collect the Mitites, that is, and it does not look like he's going to do that. It's faster to collect the Mitites at that point if you get them. So it looks like Electric Fortune forgoes Egg Push whatsoever and is just going to go for it. What that does is it guarantees that you do not mess anything up with Egg Push, and because Electric Fortune did unfortunately activate the Louis cutscene early, he's actually going to have a little bit of a time advantage going in here because now he does not have to deal with that cutscene. So we have a little bit of an interesting early game, but we're going to make it into Emergence Cave pretty close to one another.
It looks like YS also switched from Louis to Olimar there to place the Pikmin on the wall. Do you know, is there an advantage to having Louis back near the base, or is it just a preference?
I could imagine he's going to switch to Louis right now, which he does to go activate the cutscene sooner.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Personally, I think you want both captains doing this instead of one so you can pluck, but that is just my opinion, not fact. All right, so now we're activating the Louis cutscene here. Those two are going to stop at the base. While sprouts can grow during cutscene, things cannot get sucked up into the onions during cutscenes. A fun fact for everybody. So they're going to idle down at the end of the onion there and will be sucked up momentarily. So right now, Electric Fortune does actually take a little bit of a lead over YS.
I believe also if you start the Louis cutscene as things are getting sucked up, the sprouts don't come out until something else gets sucked up. They essentially get stored in the onion and not sprouted out yet. So probably
Yeah, you need
a
to
good
wait
thing.
until that
Yeah.
flower atop the onion starts to spin,
Mhm.
then you can start the cutscene.
Alright, there
All
look
right,
to
so it
be.
does look like Electric Fortune is going to have a lead here going into Emergence Cave. But it's a pretty darn close race right now. Anything can happen.
Yes, especially anything before early blues really is kind of just completely out the window in terms of time advantages, because that can just completely change the game. So,
Absolutely. All right. All right, let's see how close these two are to entering. That is about a 2.5 second difference between enters. Now, you got to remember, YS started his game 6 seconds after Electric Fortune, so we are basically neck and neck right now.
let's see, is it a close citrus or a far. Ooh, close citrus. Oh, wait.
Wait,
Do they have.
something's wrong.
Yeah, wait, they have different seeds here. I might message them real quick just to see what's going on.
Something's wrong. Somebody does not have the set seed code on.
Yeah, let me, I'll join their screens, I guess. Because I assume well, they probably have Discord open. Let's see.
All right, so this is actually. We haven't had this happen yet, actually. It looks like we actually forgot to have them check EC1 before we started this race.
Yeah, it looks like, did you see who had the close cap?
Electric Fortune had the close cap. YS
Okay.
had the close citrus.
Alright, looks like YS then is the one that has the wrong seed.
All right, how do you want to play this? Do you want to call them back?
Yeah, I'll try to, can I just add them to the call? Is that a thing I can do?
I don't actually think so.
I added them on Discord. Looks like YS is typing.
All right, let's see.
We can also just have them pause real quick, maybe at the end of EC, and see what they want to do.
All right, let's see if I can get them in the.
I see we're
Hey,
resetting.
Electric Fortune. So
let's
something's
see.
going on. Looks like YS has the wrong seed code. So I think at this point we might as well call the two of you back. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen any other flaws that matter, so
Yeah,
No, and I mean
that's all
EC2
you
is
can get
always the same anyway, so we might
Yeah.
as well just call you guys back and have you guys reset. You guys are basically tied at this point anyway.
I also do enjoy explaining early games, so we can do that again.
Yeah,
I can fix some of my mistakes. It'll be great.
Yeah.
exactly. You guys are going for Louis Skip. You guys are brave.
Let's see.
I told Kemi, I was like, I am too scared to go for Louis Skip. We're not doing it.
Looks like YS's stream is down, or is it just black screened right now?
I think he's black screen because he has to fix the code or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes
Probably,
sense.
yeah.
I guess he's just doing like a window capture.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
No worries.
Problem.
You can use that save file to check now. So
Yeah, probably.
I'm not sure why it isn't working though.
Let me double check, make sure I sent the right.
The old one in my clipboard. That's why.
Ah,
I'm sorry. And you're sure it's 8063?
yeah, let me just double check that, make sure.
Or no, E2F5. E2F5 is the seed.
E2F5C039, yes.
Okay, let me just make sure I'm doing this right, because yeah, it was right. Why?
Um, Did you, so I know I had to like send a GCT file. Did you need to like use the different
No, the
GCTs?
GCT, I can't figure out GCT on Dolphin. It's
Oh, okay.
a homebrew thing, I think.
All right. Oh, hearing some Windows noises. Always fun.
That's me.
There's actually, I have a neighbor above me who I don't know why, but they must set their volume on their computer to like 100 and then have like a mic boost or something, because I will hear the Windows sound through the floor just like very loudly, like every couple of weeks. So Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. Yeah, they have the Windows noise. The Discord noise is also pretty common, interestingly, like of joining or leaving a call. So it's pretty annoying. But that's what happens when
Man
you live in
sounds
an
like a real
apartment.
gamer up there.
Yeah, well, I would think they would be like somewhat technically inclined, but I hear the Windows error noise so often that I feel like they must not know how to work the computer. I don't know. It's pretty weird.
Well, they heard everything you just said on this stream and are coming down to challenge you to a duel.
Yeah, 1v1 Final Destination Fox only.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, Pi.
Hey, so YS, did you accidentally still have the old seed I gave you first on there as well?
No, that wasn't the problem. The problem was something. I don't know what the problem is. It's just not loading or something. I don't know.
Did you get like the chime like set seed was working or no?
Um, no,
Hmm.
I didn't get the chime on it.
Hmm.
As in, it doesn't load up as in like you try to load the whatever thing and it's just black screens in the Dolphin window, or
Yeah.
huh? Let's see. Pot. I know you sent me. There's the seed and then like the Dolphin code, which is like a long string of hex characters. Are you sure the hex
Yes.
characters were correct? I don't know how you generate those.
Um, yeah, that should be right. I mean, it's a block that you copy from.
Yeah, let me make sure I copied it correct. So C22 ends in 000. All right. Yeah, that should be fine. And then
Yeah,
there's also the EB patch. Actually, you sent me. I didn't copy that over. Should I have sent that to YS?
yeah, you should have
That would be
both of those
nice.
codes on
Oh,
if you want to not soft lock. But yeah, there's like a block that you copy from speedrun.com that starts with like C224 or something, and then you just replace one of the things with the seed. So the only thing should be is
oh, you replaced something with the seed.
if the only thing would be if I replaced the seed wrong, but
Which part of it is supposed to be replaced with the seed? Is it like the fifth line down, the right set of characters?
yes.
Okay, yeah, that looks like it's correct. D2F5 C039.
Hey, are you able to crop my window again, or no? Because I think I have an idea. I can capture my screen, and then it's really stupid, but it might actually work.
Yeah, wait. Let me. Where's your source? Filters. I'm getting black screen from you right now. I hear your
I know,
audio
I know.
though. But yeah, I can recrop. Yeah, if you want to change your layout.
And where is it? Sorry, I'm. This is,
Why is it
Oh,
good?
if you're in full screen also mode and you try to do a screen capture, I think it might not work. It's weird with that sometimes. If it's like borderless, it should work, but
okay, this is just confusing. I'm sorry.
no problem.
Oh, it works.
Oh,
Okay, now crop that. Do you mind cropping that?
I still get a black screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Let me edit the crop then.
Sorry if I'm.
Let's see, left
This is just a mess, isn't it?
3, 2, 1. Okay, so that should be about 200.
I'm
Why?
sorry. I wasn't prepared to do this.
No
Alright.
problem. Wait, let's see.
You know.
Okay, okay, so yeah, can you get to the title screen or something that has like an easy like borders to crop
Yes.
it?
I noticed my stream is also 10 seconds behind or so, which is
Yeah.
not good.
That's fine actually. It was similarly behind when the race started, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
got
and
both
then,
Twitter servers and then the Discord servers, so it's gonna accrue some latency.
yeah. Let's see, and then also I can set yours to 4x3 as well.
Let me turn my volume back on,
Scaling.
just because.
Have we
Resolution.
ruled out this is all Pi's fault?
No, we
It's all his fault
haven't.
regardless.
Alright, there we go. That looks pretty good. Let me increase it a little bit. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, yeah, nice.
Get back to the title
Oh,
screen.
let me reset the timer. Alright, take 2.
This is
Nice.
a mess.
Okay, did we check that it's working?
Oh yeah, you should probably do that.
Load up Emergence Cave 1, maybe?
Let me try doing that right now.
Yeah.
Or no, the best I can do is just like literally just go back and. Well, I'm using a different save now, which is the one from earlier.
If you just give up and escape, you can go back in and see if the bulb orbs are in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
The save shouldn't affect the seed, I don't think.
no.
Alright.
Because it'll load the same seed every time it tries to load any sub-level under
There
any
should be
That sounds
save.
about right.
Yeah, there should be 2 near the hole and then 2 kind of near the citrus, or where at least where
If
it
you
would
give
be.
up and escape, you shouldn't have any treasures at all.
Yeah, the treasure will be back.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Crossing my fingers. Hope this works.
Oh, also TCB, are you seeing my screen mirrored? Is it like reversed for you?
Oh, that's just what it looks like for you personally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no,
That makes
it
sense.
looks fine to me.
Alright, nice.
Did it work?
We're
Let's
finding
see.
out.
Should be far citrus.
For citrus.
Alright, and then there's the 2 bulb orbs.
Do they place them randomly or just
That
like?
looks kind of similar. Can you rotate the camera 180? I'm having trouble like visualizing it in my mind since it's like flipped from the picture. Like look back towards the ship.
Which channel do we put the picture in?
It's in tournament general. If you
General,
scroll up a
yeah.
bit. Yeah, the citrus is supposed to be on the right.
That's not
That's
right.
not.
That's not it.
Wow.
Here's a
I'm sorry.
question. Do you have cheats enabled in Dolphin?
Yes.
Okay.
And I
Good.
pasted and saved and made sure I was running so that it would actually save the file and everything.
Yeah. With putting in the file to the gecko code, and then there's also just let Dolphin read from them. That should be all you have to do.
Okay. Let me try doing that.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll try one more time, but I mean, worst case, maybe we can just do a non-set seed run. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
I
Let's
guess
try that.
we could maybe do like a non-set seed run where also like both people agree just not to get lens, because like if the first person gets lens but then the second person doesn't, then that's an advantage or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess we can do it.
Alright, do you want to try that whatever the one suggestion first, and then we'll try that, or?
Yes.
Alright, cool.
So what exactly are we doing?
Yeah, what was the? You said like to quit out and just enable gecko or something?
Yeah, there's a setting. Let me open up my own Dolphin so I know what I'm talking about. If you go to options configuration, there's a enable cheats just in general, like the general options. So make sure that's clicked, and then you right click your Pikmin 2, go to gecko codes, and then you put in the 2 codes there and make sure they're checked in the list.
Oh, the list!
Classic.
Oh my god,
The
seriously?
list.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna stop my stream and do that list real quick.
All right, yeah.
We may have come to a solution.
Let's go.
I hope.
If not, Pie Pusher agrees to take full responsibility.
As always.
Now, okay, hold on. Now, I put a $sign and then the name of the cheat, and so for it to appear in the list, right?
I don't know if it's all that's necessary, but maybe.
Okay, hold on.
Let me actually hang on. I can do wizardry. Does it not pop that up? Dang. Okay.
Um,
Wait. Oh yeah, there we go.
why is it not working?
It's still not loading up, or
No, I'm
So this
sorry, guys.
this is what it should look like.
No, that's my old Twitch background back when I was playing TF2. I thought that was funny. Okay, hold on.
I get that looks like something from SpongeBob with TF2 characters over it. What is that? That
I
looks
know
familiar.
I made that.
Is it milk? What is that? I can't read it because of the like thing saying you're offline.
Forget it. Forget it.
All right,
It
all
doesn't
right.
matter. Where do I put the file? The INI file for the codes.
I file.
That's what Dolphin is saying. It's loading in the AR code section.
Hey, you want to have a gecko?
Oh, here we go. And why is it not working?
Do you need to like restart Dolphin or something? Just close and reopen, or
Let me try that.
let's see. We're seeing the inner workings of Electricfortune's Gecko codes. We got always grow flower Pikmin. Seems good. Trying to see if there's any weird ones here.
Oh yeah, there's.
Stop return flow of time. What is that?
I
What-
don't know. These were these are ones that are just like publicly available.
Okay.
I didn't make these.
That sounds
Oh, it
like
probably
Majora's
like
Mask
stops the
thing.
in-game time from
Yeah.
progressing, or like sets it back to the beginning of the day, maybe.
Okay, 'cause it very much sounds like a Majora's Mask code or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at Gecko codes on the Gecko codes tab on Dolphin Emulator. It's saying it doesn't have anything on the screen except for 4 buttons and then the
Can you see
and then
Electricfortune's screen or stream? He has up what the window should look like, and like where you should put the stuff.
the window doesn't have any things in the menu bar. That's the problem.
Doesn't have the add new code button.
Yeah, if you right click in
No,
the like top box, can you add a new code? Or
no,
something?
it doesn't have anything there.
Oh, actually, if you can sorry, wait, is your stream back up?
No.
Okay, if you can start streaming again, then maybe we can see what you're seeing. But
Okay.
yeah.
Properties. Let's see here. Let me start streaming again.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Alright, cool. I'll take off the crop so we can see a little better. Is this the one? That's the one.
This is all it shows.
Alright, hmm.
Guys, I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to do this.
Can you try all the little boxes like typable?
The lower box? Yeah, it looks grayed out, maybe.
It is grayed out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if worst comes to worst, I can just. Do you mind if I give Electricfortune the whip if this doesn't work?
I mean, we could also just do the, like, do a race without set seed, but just agree not to do lens or something.
Yeah.
That
Go to the main dolphin like menu if you can.
Okay.
Actually, I can do.
Where is it?
Try to do
Okay.
that. I hit options up at the top.
Configure.
Yeah, I'll just configure. And I just want to see if there's anything in here that looks suspect. Oh god, everything's very small. There's so many different versions of dolphin. It's
Oh, that must be the problem.
Oh, is that a
I'm
thing?
using 5.0.
yeah. I mean, it should still have the option. It's just I don't know where it is.
GameCube, Wii, Advance.
It should be. Oh, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. The way mine looks, there's this enable cheats box,
Yeah,
and I
must
think
be...
if you undo that and then you go to all the gecko codes, then it doesn't let you. Oh, actually, it warns you up here that the cheat system is currently disabled. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. It might just be it's a weird dolphin thing. Might not be able to figure it out right now. Oh, wait. Was that... Oh, no, that was all codes, not gecko codes. Yeah, I don't know. It actually, it may be a dolphin version thing, not because the codes don't work, but because, like, this version of dolphin just doesn't have that button. So,
Could be.
yeah. Do you want to just do the no lens normal run?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I have to. I have to reset and then re-enable that or unenable that the cheats.
I mean, you can keep them enabled. I guess you don't know what the seed is, so you can.
I don't know. See this.
Yeah, you can keep the seed and
I guess
the
yeah. I'll just have
EV
my
passive.
random speed will be the set speed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Cool. Checking storage devices. By the way, does anyone ever watch Code Lyoko? Because this Nintendo background really reminds me of Code
Oh,
Lyoko.
you know what? Yeah, with like the circle behind the cube.
Yeah, it
I
reminds
get
me
it.
of
I
that like
see.
weird like techno area from like the later seasons.
Just
Any
want
Code
to check if
Lyokers in the chat?
Did you check if you had EC1 correct?
Me?
Yeah.
DC 1.
Like if Emergence Cave 1 was what it was supposed to be?
Oh wait, I didn't look.
It's probably
No,
not.
we did that, and it's not.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
I did that.
yeah.
I mean.
Alright. So we're going different seeds then?
Yeah.
Yep.
That always makes for a more interesting race, honestly.
Yeah. There's always the possibility of towerless.
Powerless, clackerless, moke first for somebody, but not for the other person.
Yeah.
Tons of fun stuff.
Yeah.
List.
All right. I think we're almost
So
ready.
we're gonna count
Right.
down, try this again, and then
Yeah.
I leave or leave or deafen this call.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Both ready?
I am ready. Yes.
Cool. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and welcome to take number 2 of this round of the Pikmin 2 Payoff Debt Tournament, where we have Electricfortune versus Ys101. Now, due to some technical difficulties with the set seed code, we are going in on completely random seeds for both of these competitors. So this is going to be pretty
Technically,
intense. One
It's
person
not
could get
completely random. We know what Electricfortune seed is, so that one's not
Oh,
random.
that's true, right? But one player could get a significantly better layout than the other on a sub-level, which always makes for an interesting race. So right now we are going through early game again, and we have day 1 extinction, which if you hung around on the stream earlier, you will know you have to throw a red Pikmin into the stage and walk it to its death to skip the tutorials. So let's see what these guys got.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we're getting Matites again. I believe there's like an 85% chance of at least one person getting Matites, so take advantage of that. Because last time they did not grow Matites, correct? They just killed them and then got the nectar?
Yeah, and you absolutely want to collect and grow the Matites. Okay, so Electricfortune has first try, day 1 extinction, and so does Ys101.
Nice.
Now let's keep in mind Ys101 is just going to be a little bit behind due to some stream delay,
Yep.
but that is okay.
Yeah, and technically Electricfortune is also on the timer about 5 seconds behind from stream delay, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Extinction hype. That's right.
That was the day 1 extinction, so now we are going into traditional early game, and we'll see if these guys go for Louis Skip again or don't.
They either will or won't, so we'll see.
Yes, you're right. That is the 2 possibilities. Thank you for that correction. Okay. So Electricfortune just has a little bit of a lead here, but this is going to be largely similar to one another here.
Yeah, we'll see. We know for sure that Electricfortune will be having Far Citrus, so maybe Ys can gain a little time there. I believe it's like a weirdly large time difference from what you'd expect. It's like 6 seconds or something, right? If you get Far Citrus.
About 2.5 seconds.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm wrong. Never mind. See, that's why you're here. It's because I'm
right.
wrong, and you know the real answer.
Yeah, it's done right. It's about 2.5 seconds. However, there is more potential for Far Citrus to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously it's bigger, it's slower. The Bulborbs are going to be right on that orange.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like Electricfortune is going to be the first one to throw the Pikmin at the pellet, and we'll see if they can do the Bulborb lure correctly. Electricfortune gets the Bulborb immediately. Fun fact, if it's looking off toward the right, you will get it to run after you immediately. If it looks off to the left, it's going to have to spend some time looking to its right. Oh, and YS almost lured it. Oh, no.
Alright, it didn't go all the way back at least.
Yeah, in that situation, you just want to calmly have it come back towards you, because it does ultimately go faster than whatever bets is about to happen here.
May have just been cutting his losses.
Yeah. Alright, so Electricfortune decides not to go for Louis Skip after failing it last attempt. Now, YS still has a Pikmin in the ground. We'll see how that comes into play. Alright.
Oh, no Louis Skip.
No, we did not get Louis Skip. That is okay. So now Electricfortune, if does not go for Louis Skip, is going to save time just by having the Louis cutscene play out on day 2 the way that Ys101 has it going. We will see what he does. We know from last time he did go for Louis Skip, didn't get it, so he might be feeling a little discouraged on the trick.
Yeah, it is a pretty tough trick to get. There's not really a great, like, visual cue. It's kind of like, oh, when you hit this texture, then press start kind of thing, as far as I know. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really might be more exact than early blues for all I know.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have Electricfortune growing the last Pikmins that he's going to need before starting the, really what I like to call the actual speed run. You need about 4 minutes and 30 seconds just to sort of screw around and grow some Pikmin. Still a lot faster than going through day 1 traditionally.
Yeah, you gotta bring the battery all the way back to the ship with 20 leaves. It's just the slowest. It's just painful. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Alright, so now Electricfortune is going to use that good Electricfortune he has going into day 4 and see if he can crack open a good lead on Ys101.
That was good. That was a good joke there. I like that one. That's pretty good.
Thank you. I could tell by your laughter. All right.
I left on the inside, okay?
I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So here we go.
All right. Looks like Electricfortune is on day 4 now. Yes, correct. Okay, cool. Back again to the Pikmin 1 day. I believe the limiting factor here is that it that far 1 pellet to get the 15 Pikmin?
One pellet. So the 1 pellet that's going in right now is the limiting factor. So you want to prioritize getting that thing off of its stem and immediately swarming it. Throwing that second Pikmin, while it does look quite sexy, is actually slower than just waiting and C-sticking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are going to go crush that bag right now with these 15 Pikmin.
Alright, now time to grab the, well, first cutscene, but then time to grab the other 2 5s. Fun fact about that bag, by the way, really hard to get around that bag. There are, like, so many checks, and there's a huge, like an enormous invisible wall above that bag to prevent anything from getting past it before you're supposed to. It's like, a comedically large. So, yeah.
Alright, so we know from last time that Electricfortune does not go for Egg Push right here, as he goes for Egg Push.
Oh, is he going for it?
Yeah. No, he's not. Okay, never mind. He's just beating up the eggs. I probably have not done this strategy since 2016, so, you know. Probably 2018 now that I'm thinking about it for more than just 1 second. Okay, so anyway, we're going to finish growing the rest of the Pikmin for Electricfortune. Ys is going to collect those 2 5 pellets. We know that Ys does, in fact, go for the Egg Push. So we'll see how this plays out. But right now, Electricfortune is going to have a little bit of a sizable lead on Ys.
Yeah,
he got a little too overzealous and accidentally threw a bunch of Pikmin before plucking. You really have to wait for one of those sprouts to have that little red light next to the leaf, or else you will just throw Pikmin until you can't throw Pikmin no more.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ys attempting Egg Push. What happens this time? I have yet to get Egg Push correctly in my first attempt in any of the tournament races. Ys gets it.
It was close. He saved it, though. He almost came off the right side, but then he managed to get back in front of it.
Right, so let's see. Right now, Electricfortune is enjoying a sizable lead. Let's see if Ys can close the gap over the course of the rest of early game.
35 flowers as well. It's always nice. It's always annoying to have, like, 1 or 2 leaves that are just slow behind you.
Personally, I wouldn't know what that feels like because I always have those 1 or 2 leaves, so I don't feel... Oh, you got Matites again?
Wow. Got at least 2. Yeah, it looks like just 2 Matites. Oh, we didn't get many flowers, though, unfortunately, but...
Yeah. Oh, wow, we got, like, nothing. Okay, that's actually not that good. Now, personally, if I was him, I would have run right back up that ledge and broke the other 2 eggs. It is much more worth it to have those additional flowers.
Yeah, but it is just walking speed that it helps, though. It's not like they break down gates faster or kill enemies faster or anything.
That is correct. It is walking speed. However, going to collect those treasures is going to be a little tedious for Ys right now, but that is okay. Electricfortune is going to be enjoying a little bit of a lead coming out of Emergence Cave. It's really going to come down to the late game between these two. I don't know their PBs off the top of my head.
I believe they're both, one of them is just above 2 hours, the other one's like 1 hour 59, so yeah, pretty close.
Right. So it's definitely going to come down to the late game caves. I would not really get too uptight if I was YS if he's a little bit behind after the early game is all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the 2-hour level, you can straight up have like a minute of variance in Subterranean Complex.
Yeah,
So that's
6-6. Like if you just mess up, have like 30 purples die, or I should probably count 30 purples, have 15 purples die, and you just got to reset. Then that's just kind of makes everything else moot.
all right. So we have our first entrance to Emergence Cave on Electricfortune. Now we know what's going to happen with Electricfortune. They're going to get far citrus. That's okay. They're going to deal with it the best that they can.
All right, let's see. They can. I believe it's faster just to run straight to citrus, load it, and then kill everything else, right? Yeah. Oh, but he's opting
That
for a little
is
safer.
correct. With those bulborbs in front, what I would have done is as you run, you can C-stick the Pikmin forward and just throw them like no tomorrow. You will probably kill one of the bulborbs for free at that point. That being said, right now, because Electricfortune does enjoy a little bit of a lead, he can afford to, what I like to call, shortening up the approach a little bit and taking his foot off of the gas. It is way worse to start losing Pikmin this early in the run than it is just to take that second and kill the bulborbs. Of course, Electricfortune does not know that they are in the lead currently.
Oh, they have the same. I guess the bulborb layout's different, but the same location of the treasures.
Absolutely. So this one, in my opinion, was actually a worse bulborb layout than Electricfortune had right there because they were so darn close to the citrus lump, if you will. That's going to mess a lot of stuff up, especially, and this is where the leaf reds are going to come in to really start biting YS. Getting through that with about half speed is just not going to be that acceptable. So we have the final floor for Electricfortune. Now this floor is always basically the same with the exception of just a couple of the bulborb locations here. So the main objective of this floor is to grow purples and collect that globe to unlock the next area. Otherwise, this race would be remarkably tedious and we would still be doing round 1 stuff because we'd still be collecting bulborbs one at a time. Alright, so he's going to go and get those purple Pikmin. It's going to be 5 on each plant. They can only grow a maximum of 5.
And it looks like he was trying.
It
It looks like he was trying to put the leaves, transform the leaves into purples as well, just to have maximum number of flowers. You don't want to waste a flower by turning it into a leaf purple, you know. So.
Now, if I was him, and I'm going to play this game a lot throughout this race, what I probably would have done is just said, screw it, I'm throwing the flowers in there. Playing that leaf game never ends very well for anybody. You always wind up missing it or accidentally just throwing in all the flowers because they have so much more speed. But that is perfectly acceptable. So right now, I believe if I'm counting correctly, he has enough purple Pikmin to get that globe.
He has 9. I'm assuming what he's going to do is just keep 1 red with him and then walk back to the purples, throw that 1 extra. No, it looks like he's, Alright, let's see, 2.
Let's be real with everyone. Oh my god, please. No,
okay.
I was going to say, I'm about to start crying on the middle of stream.
Yeah, that's always bad to lose a purple on the first possible place you can lose it.
And trust me, I have lost plenty of runs to that, so I'm not going to make out like I don't. Okay, so we still have 1 purple down there. So it looks like he has 9 total purples. What that is going to mess with later on is before you enter the 3rd cave in the run, White Flower Garden, you have to use a weight of 200 Pikmin to crush a bag. That's perfectly fine. He's just going to have to use some reds to make up the rest of that purple. Each purple is worth 10 on the bag. So it's going to be perfectly okay. We are just operating with 1 less purple than normal. So right now, YS is opting to kill the bulborbs with red Pikmin.
Oh, he should probably kill the other one.
Kill one and not the other?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. The bulborbs can be bad at grabbing things, but I feel like when the globe is going so slowly, they may actually get 1. Oh, it looks like he may have realized. No. Oh, I hear a death.
Hey.
Huh. The number's still 53. I could have sworn I heard a Pikmin go meh or whatever.
If I was him, I would not try to load this in at all. Yeah. I would just... If it hasn't eaten by now, it's not going to eat, and if you get closer, you may actually cause it to eat or lose a purple on the way back up the slope.
Oh, wait. How did it die? What happened?
Well, it appears we are very bad at paying attention to certain stuff, and that is okay with me.
I could swear he didn't kill that one. What?
The only possibility I can think of is that the Reds that killed the first Bulborb actually took on that other Bulborb by themselves,
yeah.
and because they were valiantly fighting it to its death, it went to chomp one, but it got other Pikmin killed it just in time, and it released its friend. So we wind up with losing no Pikmin through all of that.
Nice. So really, that was just a 200 IQ play. YS knew that would happen, and he didn't want to lose time by killing the second Bulborb on his own.
All right, so now Electric Fortune lands in our second area, Awakening Wood. Now, the first and only goal of this split is to break down a large black wall that separates you from Hole of Beasts and White Flower Garden. So we are going to get all hands on deck, with the exception of just a few Pikmin who are going to be used to grow some extra Pikmin here on this split. Strongman should definitely enjoy this split. A little bit Pikmin.
Oh God, this I have bad memories, particularly of this beginning part in 5-Day. The amount of times that they bring stuff back to the Onion right as this cutscene that's about to play on Electricfortune screen happens, and the Pikmin get stuck on the Onion. It's like a 50% chance of happening, and you just have to reset the day. It's awful, but yeah. Thankfully, they don't have to deal with that.
Well, right now, Electric Fortune seems to have landed and stabilized himself out here, so we're just going to finish up collecting the rest of these pellets. As long as he does everything correctly, he should have nothing to worry about here, and he'll be able just to float on right to Hole of Beasts after finishing the rest of this plucking.
I am thinking, when is he going to flower these Reds? I assume he's going to flower them, I forget what the floor is, but it's maybe Hole of Beast 3. It's the one with the luck wafer. Because you flower your extra purples that you grab there, so I assume he'll flower the Reds there as well.
So luckily for Fortune, he's going to use that honey wisp that you just saw on screen to flower them all before entering Hole of Beasts. Now, you will use that floor later on to flower some of the purples you'll grow in Hole of Beasts, but you should, in theory, be entering with pretty much all flowers here if everything is done correctly. That is big if. Obviously, racist stuff happens.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Also, one thing maybe you can answer for me is, why is it not faster to grab the spicy berries there? They grow almost immediately. Is it just not worth the time save in caves to have the spices?
It is actually not worth the time save because obviously you have to, 1, collect them, 2, watch all the cutscenes that come into it, and 3, farm them later on. And ultimately, if everything is done right and pay off debt, there really should be no need to use any spicy sprays. Obviously, they would help in some cases on some layouts, but as a net win-loss thing, you have to account for about a minute to lose to cutscenes for the spicy berries. And that's a lot to make up.
Yeah. And I guess, most boss fights get one-cycled anyway, so it wouldn't really help for that.
Yeah, the only one that I could see it in theory helping for is affiliated Snaggerit without losing any Pikmin, but really you're just sacrificing 3 Pikmin at that point, not really the end.
I don't actually even know if that would be faster, because isn't the only reason Pileated does not rebury is because it doesn't take enough damage?
Yeah, you may have a point there, actually. So I'm going to say that the Spicy would ultimately wind up saving time above ground, if anything. But it's not really particularly worth it. And right as we were chatting about this, Electric Fortune enters Hole of Beast 1. This is a pretty straight-up layout. You just have to go right for the Stone of Glory, I believe it's called. Now, there's going to be some sheer grubs, male and female, in the ground that are going to try to eat your Pikmin, but it should be absolutely no problem for an army of 73 Pikmin strong.
Yeah, it looks like he got decent bug bodies there too. I guess the far Stone of Glory maybe loses a little time, but it gives him an opportunity to get a couple extra pokos from the shearwigs there, or shear grubs.
Absolutely, and as long as you are averaging what we like to call 2 pokos per second, which basically means that if you're going to collect bug bodies, you should save whatever that is divided by 2 in seconds. So really, if you collect 4 Pokos and bug bodies there, you offset about 2 seconds of time loss, which granted, the Far Stone of Glory is never necessarily fun to get, but you can certainly offset it by collecting good bodies. So right now with YS, we have no idea what he's going to have to happen to him. He has not have the set seed code on. Obviously, some stuff happened before this race. He looks like he's going to get furthest possible Stone of Glory. So here's where this is going to get very interesting for everybody involved here. We know Electric Fortune's going to get certain seeds. We don't know YS. So there is a possibility that either YS is RNG, and that's what we like to call random, it's an acronym for random number generator, but really it's a fancy acronym for luck. If YS gets better luck than Electric Fortune, he will wind up saving time over him. If he gets worse luck, on the other hand, as he just did, he is going to lose time without anything he can do about it.
A fun thing about Pikmin 2 RNG as well is I feel like in a lot of times in games, people use RNG just to talk about like, oh, you know, luck of like how something played out. But in Pikmin 2, it very much is literally just an RNG call, so it's incredibly accurate to call it RNG.
Yes. Technically, if your RNG generated floors are better, you will save time. Just by function, if a treasure is closer, it's just going to take less time to collect. Now, with sub-level 3, it's a pretty straight-up sub-level. Not too much that can go wrong so long as you don't bring any other Pikmin than red Pikmin through the fire. YS, on the other hand, is plucking his 10 purples. Is only about a sub-level behind, which realistically you can make up if there is a reset later on in the run. So if YS does know that he is behind, I would not put my head down whatsoever because this is not that bad of a deficit to make up, especially if a reset happens.
Yeah, especially if I mean, I'm assuming they're both practiced Empress a little bit, but Empress is the earliest thing I can think of where if you just kind of mess it up and get an extra cycle, that's a good, 20 seconds right there.
Absolutely. Fast Empress can always be very stressful. Now, personally, again, I am Mr. Conservative over here. If I was in a position where I was leading a race, I would not go for it. However, neither one of them actually know this, so we're going to see how this plays out. So right here, with this big red bull board, there is always guaranteed going to be a treasure inside of it, so Electric Fortune quickly kills it and runs off into the alcove to collect the Luck Wafer or a playing card made by Nintendo. Fun fact, folks, Nintendo used to make playing cards. Now, you're going to collect that bull board body, and now I think it's important just to talk here real briefly about the importance of bug bodies in payoff debt. So in order to collect all 10,000 Pokos, you could do that with just treasures. That is very possible to do. However, not all treasures in this game are created equally in terms of time. Some of them are just slow. And bug bodies do not really cost very much time to collect. So even though bug bodies at first are cheap, in fact the ship in this game points out that they're not worth very much, it is worth collecting enough of them because you can collect several hundred of Pokos and bug bodies just by getting bug bodies. So right now,
especially also if another treasure's already moving and you can't speed up that treasure, it's essentially just free Pokos to grab bugs that will get in before that treasure. You lose no time from it. So
absolutely. So now, personally, Electric Fortune jumps out of that hole before he sucks up the 10 Metites. I waited at that point because, again, the 2 Pokos per second rule states that for 10 Pokos, 5 seconds need to elapse before it becomes slower. Alright, so here's an example of YS actually getting significantly better RNG than Electric Fortune. As we can see, the card actually spawns in that close alcove instead of at the end of that, like, twirly alcove type thing.
yeah,
So it's going to take much shorter of a time to get there. Alright, so Electric Fortune gets what we like to call Fast Empress, which is going to be a good time save, especially depending on what YS does. Now, the Empress Bulblax Corpse is worth 15 whopping Pokos, and that is with no cutscene. If you hit all 45 red Pikmin, looks like we got 1 purple Pikmin carrying the Love Tester. If this gets in before the Love Tester gets in and you're able to exit the cave, you are just going to collect 15 Pokos for free.
Yeah, I believe most boss bodies are 15 Pokos, although I know Snagrit's 10, a couple maybe 10, but...
The regular Snaglet head is 10, and the giant bread bug is 10. The rest are 15. So in this run, we see a couple regular Snagrets, but one is a boss. And we see the giant bread bug, so we see all of the 10 Poko bug bodies. Boss bug bodies.
Say that
All right.
fast.
So we have a cave complete. Now I know that we've had a lot of cave completes, and that means we collect all of the treasures in that cave. However, that is the last cave complete we're going to see for the rest of the run. So wave goodbye to that confetti, folks, because we are not going to see it any longer. YS attempts Fast Empress himself. I don't necessarily know if that's going to work. Actually, it
Oh,
does.
nice.
YS proved me wrong. I thought a couple of purples hooked around the other side of Empress and was going to mess it up. That is not the case, luckily for YS. And Electricfortune is just going to go ahead and enter White Flower Garden. Pretty simple split here. You crush a bag, you go to the cave. That's about that. And Electricfortune, as I was saying earlier, had to throw some additional Pikmin onto the bag to crush it. He realizes that very well.
Looks like YS also had a pretty good dismiss on the Emperor body there. He got all the purples right next to it, and then was able to just walk over to the love tester and get entirely reds on that as well.
Absolutely. So Electricfortune is entering White Flower Garden. Electricfortune did opt to activate the blue Pikmin cutscene, and after this cave, we are going to go ahead and break this sequence that Nintendo itself intended to have happen here and collect blue Pikmin before exiting the level. And by activating that cutscene, Electricfortune makes it a little easier on himself. I personally don't think it's easier, but it depends on the player's preference at that point. All right, so now YS is going to follow suit, and we shall see if YS activates that cutscene as well. If they do not, that actually does save like a couple of seconds there, so that'll be an opportunity to come back a little bit on Electricfortune. It's not going to be enough to level the race at that point, but we shall see. So Electricfortune goes ahead and takes out sub-level 1 of White Flower Garden 1. There is simply just one treasure to collect there, but there is going to be a lot of bug bodies you can collect, which is going to make...
He got almost the maximum.
He did, actually. Every single one of those bug bodies should be coming in before that treasure does, which I believe, if my memory serves, is 14 Pokos. I could be wrong on that. Someone in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not reading chat. I don't have it open on my screen, so I would have no way of verifying that, but at least for the viewer's sake, someone please correct me.
I believe it actually depends. It's possible for that first group of 3 sheer grubs at the beginning. It's possible for one of them not to spawn, so it's kind of variable how many you can get out of that.
You are actually correct on that. Thank you.
I learned that recently.
All right, so White Flower Garden 2, there are 2 treasures, a bottle cap and a heart stone. It looks like we have a very good layout here. Now, we could choose to go ahead and collect a bug body, but only, again, if it's not going to cost any time, which in this case, those are too far out of the way, and we choose to hit them.
I believe it generally does lose time to get those. It's pretty rare, I think, to have a layout where it doesn't lose any time to get them, because they're also pretty slow bodies to grab. Like, they don't move very fast.
You basically have to have one directly in your path as you're walking to the other treasure and swarm it correctly without killing everybody in the fire. So YS has a fairly successful White Flower Garden 1 and is able to collect all of the bug bodies but one.
Electricfortune here also got a pretty rare hole spawn. Having it right next to the ship is like a 1 in 20 chance or something. It's not super common. You'll see it, but I think it's really the most noteworthy layout of that sublevel.
Now, if you're playing the esteemed category Blue Pikmin, that's a very good set for you.
Yeah, it's huge.
All right, so they are, like I said, roughly about a sub-level apart, so YS basically gets the same layout, and folks, that is not scripted, that is random. Neither one of these blowhogs are even remotely in the way to be worth collecting, so YS is going to go ahead and go right to the first treasure and switch back to get that second one moving. Fun fact to everyone, it does not really matter if you switch back or walk back, it's always going to get in before the other far treasure. Even with just 2 or 3 purple Pikmin carrying it, it would get in well beforehand. So Electricfortune is going to go ahead and grow and discover white Pikmin. Now there is, conveniently, the first fairy treasure accessible in the game by normal means, just happened to be chilling in the floor where you discover white Pikmin. That's weird. White Pikmin,
it's almost like they designed it that way. It's weird.
They obviously didn't. Don't talk crazy. So right now, white Pikmin can find treasures that are buried underground. Now, how do you find these treasures? Well, your treasure gauge will still tell you that there is a treasure there. You just can't see it with your eyes. So after this, we're going to go ahead and pluck the rest of the whites, and we're going to use some more honey wisps on this floor to go ahead and nectar up these white Pikmin.
Yes, I believe there's 2 honey wisps, although I always see runners use this one. I'm not sure if it's necessarily faster, but I believe it always activates from the tape going by, so maybe that's why people opt to go for it.
much shorter distance to walk between that wood and where the tape
There
is
you go.
carried than the other one. Okay, so there is a ledge that YS and Electric Fortune are going to throw Pikmin at, and it's going to determine the fate of the run. Looks like we have 2 Pikmin for Electric
reds,
Fortune
I believe,
landing
yes.
on top of that crate. It would be nice if Electric Fortune zoomed in and let us count for sure, but that's okay. 2 Pikmin is the number to beat. It basically is going to determine who is going to win this entire run. This whole run is pointless after this is all done.
Yeah, it really is even bigger than getting early blues first prize, just getting things on that ledge.
I know, which is why in my race versus Kemi, well, Kemi went ahead and she got 1 Pikmin and I got 3, and then I proceeded to lose by 5.5 minutes, which is why it is foolproof. Absolutely.
A really clean Pikmin swap on the tape there as well from YS. He got all of his whites off of it immediately without getting any of the reds or purples off.
So now sub-level 4 for Electric Fortune, and I will tell you guys, it just straight sucks, but this is a great layout right here.
Ooh, nice.
You want to only collect this chapstick. So now this is an example where there's going to be a mushroom in the wide open, but we're not going to collect it. It's only 30 Pokos. The cutscene itself is 10 seconds. That basically leaves a very small window for that 2 Pokos per second rule. So we're just going to go ahead and skip it, and also by skipping it, we'd go ahead and skip that whole cave complete cutscene right there. That's another 6 seconds. The mushroom is mathematically impossible to be worth collecting in a run. Now that feels bad to be that mushroom.
It really
I don't
does.
know. It is so actually bad that even if it's closer, it's still slower. So now we go to the final floor of White Flower Garden, and we're also going to pay close attention to how YS gets with his RNG in White Flower 4 at the same time.
I saw a stump room.
Excellent.
Oh, wow, that's another really good layout.
All right, so now Electric Fortune goes ahead and fights the Snagret. Now, it's very rare for people to lose Pikmin to the Snagret unless you're Cap Revenge, so we're going to see what happens. Unfortunately, he lost 3 Pikmin. Not really the end of the world. Red Pikmin are very largely disposable in this run, so losing a couple is not going to be a big deal. Like we mentioned earlier, that Snagret head is worth 10 and is definitely worth collecting. This glove is the most important item in the game. By far and away, nothing else compares to how important this glove is.
Yeah,
it's going to
so much.
It's going to allow you to lay down and take a nap.
Very important. Gotta get your rest.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
and in case
no other benefits, though.
Not already taking a nap, we're going to go ahead and see what happens after Electric Fortune exits this cave and why it is just so broken of an item. But right now, YS attempts to Snagret, and that is a pretty free Snagret right there. If it comes out nice and slow, it's a free kill. Oh.
Looks like he flowered his remaining leaves as well in time.
Very important. Okay, this is a very close race. This really is. This can go either way right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it might come down to early blues here if they both get first try as well.
You gotta save, man. Electric Fortune really should have saved. So now all eyes are on Electric Fortune.
Oh,
a failure at early blues is going to mean he has to fight the Snagret again.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, especially because this is a long sub-level. Not only do you have to fight the Snagret, you gotta wait. Look how slowly this knapsack's moving on YS's screen. So...
this could be the opportunity for YS, but we are rooting for Electric Fortune, obviously. We do not want to see any early blues failure.
So you got for the first try Knapsack as well. That was, yeah, also Knapsack lets you climb up walls, which makes sense.
Absolutely. The Pikmin pick up the sleeping captain and are like, I got you, man. And they just climb up unclimbable walls. So we are going to hold our breath for Electric Fortune and see if he can carry on his streak of good and get early blues with the first try. So right now, you are navigating on such a tiny scene. Oh! Remember what I said about being such a tiny scene? So he pops back out of bounds, and all of a sudden, and I am a bad person, I did not see if YS saved or not.
But this I didn't either, shoot.
Alright, so now YS is going to attempt early blues, and again, with that knapsack, that Pikmin is going to carry Olimar right up that wall, and if anyone knows this game from a casual standpoint, this is not something that is supposed to happen, alright? Yeah. This is not a feature that they teach you about in school, this is something that you gotta learn about on the hard streets of speedrunning.
I believe the reason that happens is that when Pikmin path, essentially, they go from waypoint to waypoint. And for the first waypoint, they kind of like don't check for obstacles in the way, like fire or water, or in this case, a ledge, before just deciding they can go there. So the first waypoint from where he laid down was up the hill, so the Pikmin just went right up the hill with it, no problem.
Absolutely, that is correct. So right now, YS is trying to figure out his position, and what do we get, folks? We get a successful
Nice.
early blue. YS is now in a commanding lead of this race here.
Yeah, that's huge. That's like a 2-minute time swing right there.
Absolutely. Now, Electric Fortune, for the love of God, save after exiting White
Yeah,
Flower
I was gonna say.
this time. That's a mistake you're only going to make once in your entire racing career.
Yeah.
All right, so right now, this white Pikmin is going to do something very special for YS. There is a 66% chance that it's going to carry you to the red onion, and a 33% chance you're getting carried to the blue onion. If you carry to the red onion, well, then nothing happens. If you carry to the blue onion, because of the way those waypoints Strongman was talking about earlier, we're going to climb right up the wall. Again, usually happens in 1 or 2 or 3 tries, statistically speaking, has to. Again, unless you're Cap Revenge, in which
Yeah,
case the best
14,
possible you
maybe?
can get is 6. I think his record is like 14. My personal record is 17 reds.
Ooh,
I don't know. That actually happened during a race once, so everyone feel real bad for me.
Oh, that's the worst.
I was in the lead. I was no
Ah,
longer in the lead after that split.
yeah. That's like missing early blues at that point. I mean, it's not really, but it's like it's pretty bad.
Yeah, all right, so Electric Fortune, and I'm a bad person. I did not see if he saved.
Dang it.
If he
Me too.
He didn't save. I don't know. I'm just going to call the race out of just pure mercy at this point, but we're just going to see how this plays out. So YS is going to grow all of the blues he's going to grow on this split, and he's going to go right into Snagrit Hole, home of many Snagrits, as you might guess from the name.
Yes.
All right,
I
the
believe
Electric
there are 3 Snagrits total. I think. No, 4? 3.
4.
I know there's. Wait, what's 4?
There's
Oh, there's
3
5.
regular. There's 5, right?
Yeah,
Plus the Piliated at the end.
Yeah, two of the
4
sub-levels have
regular.
2, and then pileated.
Goes to show you what a speedrunner am. I just completely forgot that there's a second Snagrit on sub-level 3. Oh,
Well, yeah,
right.
because in 3. Also, because I'm thinking 5, I believe it is. You don't even do in the pay off debt category, so it's easy to forget how many there are there. Oh, and looks like YS just showed the final use of white Pikmin is that they are poisonous. So the Bulborb ate a white Pikmin there and just died immediately. So
And
may
if
see that
anyone's saying
again.
Electric Fortune, his Electric Fortunes have run out. He has popped back into bounds again while it's through the early blues. So right now, Electric Fortune, I will be honest with you, is in some trouble. Now, we will see if he saved at the end of White Flower Garden 4. I mean,
Yeah.
5.
Please.
Because right now, YS is just chug-a-lugging along all the way to sub-level 2 of Snagrit Hole, which is a pretty big lead right now. Okay, we save.
Okay,
We
nice.
save.
Nice. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. There's always SCX6 and 7 also to bring it back in this race later on.
All right, so now YS got something that we like to call terrible RNG.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh,
bad.
water. Is that why?
Water. Now, I know what you all are thinking. Blue Pikmin are the only ones that can cross water, and ordinarily you are right, but this is so short of a water that you can just go right ahead and call your Pikmin across. Now, not only that, you then have to go to the furthest extent of the map just to collect the strawberry. There are worlds out there where the strawberry spawns like a unit or 2 away from the base, and it saves oodles of time, almost like 45 full seconds.
It is.
So
I believe it makes it possible to complete the sub-level in either under 1 in-game minute or under 2 in-game minutes. Pi, if you're in the chat, you'll have to correct me on that one. But it can be pretty quick.
You've got to get some godly RNG for that to happen, but you can do sub 1. All right, Electric Fortune is going to go ahead and attempt early blues for the 3rd time. We are going to see how he does walking along that steam. Everyone, please give all of your luck and hope to Electric Fortune. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a jank early blue setup. I'm a little scared.
Press X.
Oh, we activated the cutscene
nice.
first. Never mind.
Okay. Cool. That's good. That's good.
It is not jank whatsoever. If you activate that cutscene first, you actually have to use a different line than if you do not activate the cutscene. So we, at least at this point, have a decent race.
Yep.
Right now, Electric Fortune is going to have to hope on a YS having to reset at least at one point, and he's going to have to play well, but I have seen crazier things happen in Pikmin 2 racing. So we are going to have to see how this plays out. But it's really anybody's game at this point. Now we're going to have to go ahead and see what winds up happening. YS is going to go ahead and exit the sub-level after the strawberry is collected. Again, there is a sushi piece that is worth so little, it's not worth your time.
Also,
Now over on
Electric Fortune just got the blue, and I feel like classic Pikmin 2 speedrunner thing here. Get the blue, assume it's not going to be blue, so that he immediately got up and wasted the opportunity. One thing I learned from Cap, so that I never do this, is I physically, like, I out loud say the color of what the Pikmin is that's carrying me. So I say the word blue, and then that gives me enough time to realize, oh, it's blue, I shouldn't just press X again. So thankfully he only got it 2 tries later. But
copyright charges, because I actually taught that to Cap about 3 years. He came out of the scene.
Nice.
But that's okay, right? It's all about sharing strategies. It's not about taking credit, except for when I take credit.
Yeah, just now that you did that.
Exactly. And it's not about that. I just chose to do it.
Yes, of course.
All right. If you find any sort of knapsack trick, we're going to call it the strongman sack, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, again, there's always hope to find your own trick. I have nothing named after me. Now, YS missed a golden opportunity. He just spun the sausage around instead of waggling it right at the camera, as most top runners will do. It is a phallic joke. YS is trying to keep this PG rated. Now Electric Fortune enters Snagrit Hole, and really there's about a 3 sub-level differential. So again, a reset on any sub-level for YS is going to make this race a lot tighter than it initially looks.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Electric Fortune gets on the second sub-level as well. That could save him some time.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big old differential right there. Okay. So, right here, this is our first aerial spawning enemy on YS's screen for sub-level 4. There is a cannon beetle, a green cannon beetle to be exact, that's going to fall from the sky. Now, what's so significant about this guy, you may ask? Well, he has a magnet that's worth 150 Pokos. What does this other green cannon beetle have? Absolutely nothing. He's useless.
Super.
All right. Now, we got 2 marbles up at the same time. That's always very cool. They're different colors, but I appreciate that, actually. These are the small things I look for in life to make myself happy.
Looks like YS is opting to kill the other cannon beetle first. Don't want to deal with 2 at once.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good move.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Alright. Lost a couple there, I think, to the Bulborb, but I think it was just a red, so not too bad.
Alright, so Electric Fortune drops down into sub-level 2 right here, and we're going to see how this plays out. It looks like he's got another far strawberry.
Yeah, pretty
go
similar.
Ahead and
Ooh, even worse maybe, actually.
Yeah, actually, that is even worse. Observation.
Is that a creeping chrysanthemum in the water as well, or is that no? That's just a regular. Okay, that could be really bad if there's a chrysanthemum in the water, but.
Yeah, actually, that's really not a fun experience to have for anybody.
Also, that I'm not sure if YS did, but when the treasure has to go over water, you actually have to keep the treasure on screen, or they clip through the bridge, and some of your Pikmin just drown through no fault of your own. The ones that are carrying the treasure. So.
Yes. Now, you don't have to. There is scenarios that it will just cross the bridge just fine. Now, that is a creeping chrysanthemum, so we're going to see an issue right here.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he's got to save those Pikmin, but... Okay, what did he lose? Another
yellow or a white, yeah.
It was the other one that lost a white. All right, now we're going to a little sidetrack here because YS is over on sub-level 5, and we see our first and I think only Whistle Beetle of this run. Now, this Whistle Beetle messes with your radar to make seeing where the other treasure is completely impossible, except for luck, obviously.
I believe there's one... Isn't there another Whistle Beetle in the run? You don't kill it, but there's one on SH5, maybe? What am I thinking of? 6.
We're on 5 right now.
Okay.
But with SH5 right now, there is a Bulborb that, again, is going to drop from the sky that holds a blue marble, and that's 120 Pokos. You want that blue marble. So Electric Fortune is going to ski-daddle out of here.
Alright, there we go. YS found it.
Forgot that he didn't collect it yet. Alright, so YS has that blue marble in his possession, and we just got to get that back to the rocket ship to get its sweet, sweet 120 Pokos. And we're going to go ahead and take an opportunity to nectar some purples. Leaf purples are actually very slow, so that's a good play on his part. If you have the nectar, you might as well use it.
Even leaf whites, I believe, are they faster than flowered reds, or are they just barely slower?
I think they're just barely slower, but leaf whites are faster than flowered purple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Electric Fortune now has sub-level 3, and with that, Snagret clearly has the sausage, and we're going to hope that Electric Fortune has the good sense to waggle it at the screen, but we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll really just have to disqualify them both if neither of them do it, so...
Well, if neither of them do it, I'll allow it. If one of them does it, I'm calling the race in their favor. And unless Pie Pusher is in the voice call to say that that is not allowed, I'm going to go ahead and assume that it is. But let's see what Electric Fortune does. Do we get the waggle? We do not get the waggle,
movement.
folks. Oh my god. I hope they watch the playback and feel bad. That was Electric Fortune's opportunity to clinch the race. All right. So now YS goes to sub-level 6. This is actually going to be a little bit of a pickle because there is an error spawning dwarf orange bulborb that could possibly spawn with a very expensive treasure.
Although I believe they agreed because they are 2 different seeds that they will not be going for it, even if they see it.
That is true, actually. I did forget about that. Okay, so then YS... Now, a quick note to YS, if he does decide to rewatch this VOD, if you hold down R, you can drop down your camera and see much further because you should have seen that there was a gate in front of that hole if you decided to utilize that mechanic. However, he did not, and that's really fine. Now, hopefully he chooses... Yes, he chose right. If he would have chose the other way, he would have drowned a bunch of Pikmin, and we
Literally
would have had...
all of them, I think, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think all... Maybe a couple front runners would have gotten...
I thought it was impossible, but maybe not. Ooh, the beetle is really screwing me. It was okay.
Okay, so over on Electric Fortune side, he is opting to collect that cherry, which I actually am in support of right there. It is that close. Now, he needs to go toward that exit. There we go.
I believe the cherry is only 10 Pokos, so it's like pretty rare to make it worth, I believe, because the cutscene is 10 seconds of watching it. But if it's right there, then maybe it's okay.
The cherry is 20, so if you can actually collect it without differing your running route whatsoever, like he did, just toss 3 Pikmin at it and forget about it, then it's fine. I personally never really collect the cherry because I always kind of trust that I'm going to have enough bug bodies. I have let myself down very often. And right now, YS is fighting Pileated Snagret. Now, it is possible to one-cycle this boss, and that means kill it before it goes back into the ground. Unfortunately, he did not get there just yet, so he's going to off-screen that Snagret to prevent the treasure from going too far. Turns out it was in vain because the treasure bounced pretty far anyway, but that is okay. And we are done with Snagret Hole, or at least Ys101 is over on Electric Fortune side. He is going ahead and collecting that magnet. And he's going to go right ahead into sub-level 5.
Wow, that treasure took a terrible route also on YS's screen. It went like around to the center, and like it could have just taken a straight shot. I don't know, that's weird.
It could have. However, fun fact about the way that treasures route is that you have to discover the little part of that map on your start screen map for it to go through. So if you do not walk through a certain area, it does not get quote-unquote discovered. I know you and I and he can see it, but the game does not count it as discovered, and the Pikmin will avoid it like the plague.
Oh, also, according to the chat, white flower leaves actually carry faster than red flowers, but they walk slower.
Thank you very much, chat. Again, if I was reading you, I would probably benefit from your knowledge. So you're going to have to go ahead, Lynn, and tell me who told you that. So
that
you can
was
get a quick
Teddy Ursa. Yoshi.
Teddy Ursa Yoshi, thank you very much, my friend. Always bailing me out.
Yeah, also, I believe the Justice... I was actually talking about the Justice Alloy there, not one of the treasures on Electric Fortune screen. I think that was the miscommunication there. Just answering chat here.
All right.
Looks like YS is in the above ground now. Oh, is that the... Nice, all right. Electric Fortune found the marble. But yeah, this above ground section for YS, I believe, is essentially you're grabbing like almost every above ground treasure here except for the air brake, and then you just grow a bunch of blues, if I'm correct. It's been a while since I've seen... I know there was a route update here since I speedran this game, but I believe it's pretty similar to what it was before.
Yep, the objectives of this whole above ground segment is to go ahead and collect the globe on the other side of that bridge that you saw YS toss his blues at the beginning, and collect a bunch of above ground treasures and grow blues and go to BK and do it all in roughly 4 minutes if done right. Very impressive stuff. Alright, so now gold beetle here. That's actually the worst possible luck you could get. You want any of those, and I mean any of those, to be blue, to grow more blue Pikmin. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I think YS has a nice competitive pace going here. And now Snagret Hole 6 is coming up for Electric Fortune, and we're going to see how close that hole is. I didn't personally see it on his start map, but I think he did because he definitely has a plan. He's going for it. He's going ahead and skipping everything because of their gentleman's agreement. Obviously, they're not competing in the same seeds, and it would be wildly unfair for one of them just to crack open a 120 Poco lead on the other. All right, so YS over here is going ahead and growing his initial blue Pikmin, and he's going to use that to go ahead and turn any of those carries that are intended for the red onion to go to the blue onion instead, and then some, apparently. Now, with those 4 Pikmin, he's going to utilize another knack trick, in fact, 2 of them, to go to BK without having to do any of the silliness with the electric gate or anything like that. So the first one, he's going to lay down and climb this little area of the stump. It's a little bit precise. Bear with him here. His camera angle stresses me out because I don't actually know if it's going to work or not. Now he's going to use another one to climb up the rest of the stump, and this is always a breath holder because if a cutscene plays at an inconvenient time, the Pikmin are going to ramp him right off of that slope before he can do anything about it. Looks like he should be fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They haven't even picked him up yet.
Yeah.
Now, Electricfortune did just take down the pileated Snagret, or the pileated Snagret, or however I'm going to trigger the most people in chat. The pileated Snagret, I shall say.
Never heard
And
that
collect
before.
this alloy.
Oh, it looks like YS called someone off of the Bulborb and the treasure there. Was that intentional or is that...
I think that was intentional to
Okay.
prevent any of those cutscenes from causing him to go flying off of the stump. Not technically the most optimal thing in the world to do, but that's okay. And we are going to go ahead and see Electricfortune complete this cave and move on to his above ground Enter Bulblax Kingdom split.
Looks like
That's always the way.
YS as well has a ton of blues here. It's got 99 total. So
99 total Pikmin in the field, not
Or yeah, in the field, yeah, I should say.
Now, that's actually not necessary to collect those 2 pellet posies all the way off there, but that is YS's decision.
Yeah, it might be just a safety thing for later if he loses any in Bulblax Kingdom.
Or based on my own experience, you forget the route when you're racing.
That could be as well.
Route.
Oh,
Because-
we have a rare sight here. We have buds. Not something you see very often, because I believe... Is there even deflowering in Pikmin 2, or if they do get deflowered, they just go straight to leaves?
They do go straight to leaves. There is, in fact, deflowering.
Okay.
So now Electricfortune is going to attempt Enter Bulblax Kingdom. I have to give credit to Electricfortune. If you really take away the time that he spent resetting to Enter Snagret Hole in the early Blues trick, this is darn close. Like, this is pretty much accounts for that time loss in and of itself.
Yes, I believe he finished Snagret also in 1 cycle fewer than YS, so he saved a decent amount of time there.
Absolutely. But I do always have to give credit for racers that really stick it out and really go for it here. It's good.
Yeah.
It would be easy to fail the trick twice and say, all right, I've lost this race. I'm going to just kind of stop trying. I'm going to get through this run. But he's not doing that. He's competing right now. And like I said, 1 reset and everything changes. Now it looks like YS has just entered Bulblax Kingdom here. Now this cave, not a ton of variance that can go on in terms of not collecting treasures or collecting treasures. But by that logic there, Strongman Lin, would you like to go ahead and fill us in a little bit about skipping treasures and what's that all about? Why would you skip treasures in some runs and collect them in others?
Yeah, so essentially on some certain sub-levels, like we were talking about in Snagret Hole, where I think Electricfortune got the cherry, you can just, there can be certain treasures where it's like, oh, that one's really far away, that one's not necessarily worth, or like, this one's really close, I can actually get to this one even though I normally wouldn't. And so depending on where treasures are, also how many bug bodies you have, certain treasures can be faster to get sometimes or not. I believe there's maybe only like 4 or 5 treasures that you can either get or not get. A pretty common one is Aquatic Mine, which is near the end of the run in Perplexing Pool. That one's in the above ground segment. And I know if you get Lens, which obviously neither of the runners did, but if you get Lens, that one's like pretty much a guaranteed skip. So.
Absolutely. Now let's see how Electricfortune goes. That cutscene is okay, and it does not look like he climbed the stump anyway. So now he's in danger of having that strawberry come in at the wrong time.
Oh.
That's actually going to be fine because he's not going to climb the stump successfully there either way. I hate to sound like a downer, but he's just going to sort of get stuck there.
Yeah,
which is
just
okay,
about
because otherwise he would have went flying to the ground, and you don't want that.
yeah.
Now, Electric Fortune, you need to be a little closer to those 2 dots that you're throwing at.
You know those 2 dots that all of the people watching know exactly what we're talking about.
I
I
mean,
guess
quite
probably
frankly,
half of
based
them
on
do,
the
but
average viewership of this race, I would assume pretty much everyone knows what we're talking about.
yeah.
Anyway, enough throwing shade at our own community, Twitch. Let's keep going. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Electric Fortune's stump climb here. He's going to take advantage of Olimar being stuck up there.
I think he's good actually here. Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Oh, it's
no,
good cutscene though.
no.
Oh, we'll see how this goes.
No, he's not going to be able to get there in time. Now, there is something called lockout that happens after every cutscene or treasure collection cutscene. Well, that's
I
just
got double cutscene. If there was any
that's
chance,
just
it was
insulting
gone.
to Electric Fortune right there. I don't know. I would write Miyamoto a letter or something.
Yeah,
But any hoots. What that is with lockout is there is a brief and I think less than a 1 second delay of when that cutscene ends to when any of your button inputs actually do anything. And that causes a lot of havoc, as we just witnessed with our own eyes. If he had no lockout there, he could have gotten out of that knapsack as soon as possible, but he had to wait and watch him fall down the sump. So we're going to see. Come on, baby, get up there.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I believe your stick inputs are still red, but like any face buttons, yeah, it doesn't do anything. All right, there you go. You got it.
You are correct. You are correct on that one. Your sticks are fine. Face buttons, not so much. We're going to see a couple of buds here. Now, we have been ignoring YS, and I'm sorry for that, YS. He's over on Bull Black's Kingdom 4. And I only ignored him because 1, 2, and 3 are kind of mundane. So we have an Airborne, Wallawog, and a Gold Beetle, each of which have a treasure here. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and exit after collecting the Wallawog treasure. Now, Bull Black's Kingdom has 2 sublevels, in fact, that are such golden examples of just not worth it. Sublevel 3 being one, and sublevel 5, the one we're about to see, being another. There's something called the Anxious Sprout, which in the year is 2022. I get the Sprout's anxiety. I'm anxious too. But we're not going to collect it so it can just relax a little bit and stay in the ground. It's not worth enough to justify the time going for it. So we're just going to go right to the exit, which is crazy to think about from a casual viewing standpoint, that it is faster just to ignore treasures directly in front of us.
Yeah, part of the reason that sublevel is so bad too is it is so dark. Like that, I think, is the darkest sublevel in the run. And because we have not gotten the bulb, I forget what it's called, but the treasure from Man at Legs, which we never really should get, but because we don't get that, even if it's not right in front of you, you just like cannot see it at all. Luckily, you can see the hole because the kind of little mist particle effects show up through the fog, but if not for that, it would be really hard to see the hole as well.
All right, so now here comes Electric Fortune in BK1 and YS in BK6. Now it looks like there's a little bit of a misread on YS's part right now. He went to the wrong room. There was no treasures in that room. So again, any little bit of time loss that happens to YS, Electric Fortune needs to capitalize off of, because again, folks, this race is winnable for either one of these parties here, but Electric Fortune has a lot of ground left to cover here. Now,
yeah,
cool thing about the
sorry, you go.
Cool thing about these orange Bulborbs is that they are very light sleepers and can wake up even if Pikmin get close to them. They don't have to be touched by Pikmin per se to wake up. So what's going to happen there is if those Pikmin that were on fire wandered too close, catastrophe could have ensued. Luckily for YS, it did not. And he's going to go ahead and collect a buried skull. Now, he avoided any sort of deaths from that bomb, which is good. The bomb pretty much always happens there, so it's really not that hard to avoid. Now, we're going to have to go over onto Electric Fortune's screen and see if he can navigate past all of these tricky fire geysers right here, and 2 Dweevils that are looking to snatch up that treasure. It looks like he navigated through just fine, and we're going to have to get out of there before anything happens.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that can go wrong on BK2 is those Dweevils. If you get 1 purple pound on them, though, you should be okay.
Yeah. What's real fun is when the Dweevil picks up your treasure and then runs through the fire for you. That's some good Dweevil right there.
That's always good.
So it looks like YS managed to correct their misread and get through the rest of BK6 without anything happening there. And we're going to go ahead and fight the hardest boss in the game. We're going to need all of the luck from chat for YS right now. This run could very easily end with how difficult this boss is. If we remember from our friend Pikmin 1, Emperor Bullblax is coming. Now, Strongman Lin knows a little bit about how annoying
Yeah,
Emperor
he can
Bullblax is.
literally eat all of your Pikmin. He can kill 100% of your Pikmin in one attack. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Now, in Pikmin 2, it's a little bit different. He's a little bit smaller. People will notice he's still just as frightening. So he's going to go ahead and try to take down that gate real quickly while this fight is unfolding. And we're going to see. Everyone hold your breath here.
Ah, that was close.
And it's over. I do not know what you Pikmin 1 runners are complaining all the time about. My God, that was simple.
Oh, that was very close on Electricfortune's screen. I feel like he almost just lost like 40 Pikmin to that electricity there, but he barely got it in time.
All right, now here's a little bit of sub-level variance happening in Electricfortune's favor as he loses a couple of purples. Oh, stop throwing when it jumps. Okay, well, luckily there are 2 purple candy buds on this floor, so if he does lose a bunch of purple Pikmin, really it's not that big of a deal. He can always just regrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's 2. I think there's generally 2. There can be only 1, but usually 2 purple flowers.
Yes.
Correct?
Well, it doesn't really look like he lost enough. We're going to see if he grows or not. Again, it's kind of up to him and what his preferences are. He really only did... Oh, he already grew Pikmin. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, that was interesting. So now, Wallawog is dead. Electricfortune benefits just a little bit by some good RNG right there, as we say, because he got that close Wallawog and Glint Beetle together. He did not have to wander to the other room, so we're going to see what he's able to do with that. He's going to go ahead and flower his Leaf Pikmin, because as I've said before, Leaf Purples, very slow, don't want them.
It's like he's
Oh,
gonna
wow,
grab the
that
bug
was
body as well. Nice.
Okay, we are through.
Alright, and now Ys is immune to fire? I believe that's what the treasure that Bullblax has does?
Yeah, his
Okay.
hat is immune to fire. You cannot run Pikmin that are not reds through fire at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
So we're going to see Electricfortune. Again, just go ahead and get the heck out of this sub-level. Don't bother with the treasure. Very dark. No one can see. We've already discussed this, and Electricfortune is going into sub-level 6. Now, for all you folks at home that are saying, well, he's kind of closing in on Ys right now. They're only 1 sub-level apart. These are long sub-levels that they're going to go ahead and go into.
Yeah, BK6 in particular, if you have a bad read, it can really waste some time.
All right, so now we are exiting Bullblack's Kingdom over on Ys's side, and we're going to go ahead and see what he can do with that.
Electricfortune getting a real interesting sub-level layout here, too.
Yeah, wow, that's
Wow.
some stuff.
Huh.
That's annoying.
Oh,
Sorry
and
to hear that.
Matites were over there, too. I guess those are guaranteed, but...
Yeah, you can always get Matite in one of the outposts here. Okay, so now Ys is moving on and out of anything in Awakening Wood. We are done with that area for the rest of the run, and he's going to go back to Valley of Repose, aka the first area in the game. Perplexing Pool gets no love. And what he's going to go ahead and do is collect that iconic battery treasure that usually ends day 1. Except it's day 6. And we have blue and white and purple Pikmin, so clearly things have happened throughout this run. Okay.
Electricfortune also got kind of lucky there. He had an egg drop on his treasure in BK6 instead of the bomb, so it's looked like he was able to flower most of his blues, which would be nice.
That is nice. That's going to help a little bit there. Okay. So let's see. Ys is going to run right to that battery with 20 Pikmin. A couple blues in there. Obviously, he lost a couple whites. Not really the end of the world for him. He's just got to keep going. Now, I would have swarmed the Pikmin on because he overthrew a couple, but again, not really the end of the world. He's got a motor, though, because once this battery comes in, this game is not really that smart or well-programmed. It does not know the difference between day 1 and day 6. It just waits for the first above-ground treasure. And I mean any above-ground treasure will cause this to end the day on this day. So he's got to flower all of these Pikmin before that battery gets in.
I guess you pray for no Matites here, right? Because, I guess you have purple, so you can kill them anyway, but I feel like it's an easy way to have all of your Pikmin just suddenly start running around, and then you lose some time from the battery coming in.
Good observation. That is a very good way to have a lot of things messed up.
Yeah.
The battery's going to come in, it's going to end the day, and he's going to go ahead and start a new day back in Valley of Repose, and he's going to go ahead and try to get to the Cave Subterranean Complex while collecting a bunch of other above-ground treasures here.
SCX, I believe, has the most value out of any cave. Maybe FC is higher, but
Very close. Depending on what you're able to skip or not skip, SCX should have the most value.
Yep. For also a pretty short cave, you can get through it in, I believe, like 9 minutes is kind of optimal time.
A little bit above 9 minutes. Getting close to 9 minutes is getting pretty close to a scary barrier that we don't want to talk about on live Twitch. Some scientific principles have to be broken there. Okay.
Oh yeah, also, I guess we didn't mention it earlier, but Electricfortune with the knapsack again here, climbing up this ledge. Oh, is he? Oh,
That's too far.
Yeah.
He can correct that pretty easily.
There you go. Might lose a white there, but
He's got time to save him.
nice.
All right, so over on YS's side, we're going to see some pretty unconventional gameplay here, and this is the brand new Enter SCX above ground route that we are witnessing here. Oh, we're just going to let this play out here.
I'm going to let it play out because I don't know how it
over.
works, so I can't commentate it. But if you know anything about it, feel free to say things, I guess.
All right, so what's going on here is he's going to go ahead and start digging up a buried treasure. Now, obviously, that thing is going to run right into the water if he does not break open the water fast enough. We're going to see how this all plays out, obviously. He's going to run over to that wall with all of his blue Pikmin, and instead of switching back to the other captain, those Pikmin he threw at that ledge right at the beginning of the day is going to come in and play, and they are going to dig up something called the Spiny Alien Treat, or the SAT for short. Now, that brought back any horrible memories of
I was gonna say, I hated those.
Yeah, that brought back any memories of my horrible high school exam. I do apologize for that. And that's what's going to happen here is they're going to go ahead with this weird little ledge and toss some purple Pikmin up there. They want at least 3. It looks like they got those 3 and dismiss. Now, because there is a lip that those Pikmin do not like crossing by themselves, they are just going to go ahead and fill out there until they're ready to be used. Now we're going to see if this gate is going down anytime soon. It absolutely is. And now they got to break open this little stopper here, draining the water before any of those above ground treasures that we just saw them start digging up go into the water, because that would be bad.
Yeah.
Now, you have a little bit of time if that happens, because if it breaks before the Pikmin drown, they will stop drowning, catch their breath, and pick up the treasure again. You don't want to cut it that close. Now, my only concern is that's a pretty low account of Pikmin to be doing this with, because you still have to break down a bridge at the end of this. Now, that big old bear statue there, you can go ahead and just toss some purples at it to grab it, and let's see what he takes. That's a lot of Pikmin. That thing's going to not move as far as he wants it to move there. It should be okay, though. No real worries here. So we're going to go ahead and utilize yet another knapsack trick while these 12 or 11 mighty Pikmin start taking down this massive bridge. Now, by the way, have you noticed yet in this run that some bridges kind of go a little slower than others, and some all of a sudden, once they get past that first notch, just rocket to the end? What's going on with that?
I learned about that recently. So apparently, when you first load into an area, the health of each bridge is initialized correctly. But once I think it's either if you leave an area and come back, or if you enter a cave and then leave, the health of all of the bridges past the first segment is set to 0. So it takes a little while to break the first segment, but after that, a single Pikmin will just completely destroy the bridge on their own with in the same amount of time as, say, 100 Pikmin. It doesn't even matter how many you put on it. They'll just all instantly build.
Remember we were talking about Matites on this segment?
Oh, yeah.
We got some Matite.
I guess that's good, maybe? Because I guess you can grow stuff. I don't know.
It is fine. It's not the end of the world, not the best thing in the world. Now, what we call that in the business is actually something that is Matite inconvenient. Thank you for that
I
laugh.
see what you did there.
Really is about just making me feel better. I don't really care about the runners at this point. All right.
Jeez. Tell them how you really feel.
Alright, I don't really care about the runners at this point. I just said that. I don't really know why I had to repeat myself, but that is okay. So YS has finished collecting all of his treasures, has finished doing everything he's got to do, and now he's got to whistle Louis up on that ledge and enter SCX.
This is the bane of most runners' existences.
Absolutely. It is arguably, if not the hardest hole in the game, one of the hardest holes in the game.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many bombs. That's the worst. There's just so many bombs. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
All right,
electricity.
so weirdly enough, we're going to start this highly metallic and mechanical cave with a snowy sublevel. I guess that snow creeped in from the above ground.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, that gauge is not really getting that excited going to that room. I think YS is barking up the wrong tree there, and I think he just realized that and is now going to the other room. And now we definitely see some more gauge activity. There is a buried treasure, and there is a partially buried roll of tape. Roll of tape, very cheap, not really worth getting. That buried treasure, that old timey telephone dial, twice as
Yes.
expensive as the tape.
tableau.
Definitely.
Looks like you got some decent bug bodies here too from the Bulborb. Bulborbs, I believe, are 7 Pokos. So
they are. All large Bulborbs are 7 Pokos, no matter how hard they are. Quick trivia question for you, Len. Which one is the easiest large Bulborb to kill?
I'm pretty sure it's the hairy one.
You
although,
are.
does it have a different amount of health? I know that I think other than Bull Bears, they all have the same stun chance from purples, but it always felt to me like the Harrys had less health.
So the Harrys do have the least health of all of them, then the red, then the orange, then the Bull Bear, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, I believe it's like a 30% chance per
that
smash.
I possibly begin to make up a number on. I don't know the stun chances of anything.
Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure it's 30%.
I just know it's 0% if you really need it to happen, and 100% if it's not that necessary. That's all I know about stun chances. Okay, so over on Electricfortune's screen, it looks like he only has 2 purples up on that ledge. He needs a third, so he's going to go ahead and try again. And he's got it. Yeah, he's got it there. All good.
YS also going with the strat that I wish I knew as a kid. That you can just throw a single purple on any of the flying enemies here and just leave them. You don't have to worry about them. The purple will just keep knocking him down.
Absolutely. Any airborne enemy. Oh, watch out for that bomb right there. Although I am liking where his mind is going.
Nice.
Absolutely nice. Oh, for the love of God. Why?
Oh, God.
Get out. Why are you there? No one wanted you there, Dirigibug. Nobody. Okay, it looks like we got through that just fine without the Dirigibug antics getting in our way.
Oh, Bull Bears have the same stun chance. I did not know that.
Huh. Well, like I said, I did not claim to know anything about stun chances at that point. Alright, so we are exiting sub-level 2. Electricfortune is trying to get himself into SCX. Again, right now, it is incumbent upon YS to stay very even keel and not to reset. It is really YS's race to lose at this point. Electricfortune really has to stick it out and play well because a reset can cost minutes.
Yeah, he can afford to take his time a little bit on SCX6, kill some extra stuff just to make sure he doesn't lose 40 Pikmin. SCX3, I believe, is one of the biggest like RNG points in the run. I think it's 3, 6, and 7 of can have some pretty variable layouts in SCX.
Absolutely. So what's going on here is that there is an unstunnable beetle with 1 treasure in it worth 60, and then 2 treasures on the outside of that beetle worth 60 and 70. And because none of our valiant heroes have collected the stupendous lens, they gotta collect them all. And that's just what they have to do to make this run worth it. So what they're gonna have to do is navigate 3 whole things to multitask on 1 sub-level while also dealing with more fire than you really know what to do with. And, well, some roly boys, as we call them.
I think it's also possible to get 5. I mean, there's always, I believe, a 5 Ivory Candy Pop Bud on this sub-level, but it's usually not faster, but occasionally I think I see runners get it. So we'll have to see.
Yep.
I don't think I saw
You
it.
are correct. You can technically grow 5 white Pikmin on this floor. Again, kind of varies if it's faster or not. If it doesn't kind of present itself naturally to you in your journey, I probably wouldn't collect it at that point. It looks like YS has managed to get through this just fine, and over here on Electricfortune, we are going ahead and going to enter Subterranean Complex.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty decent SCX3 for YS as well. Nothing really went too wrong. Everything was kind of in one path, so that's good. I always loved how shiny the bolt is here too. The one on SCX6 is all like rusty and like like old. I
Sure.
like this one.
The rusty one was out in the open. That thing was swallowed by an enemy there. It didn't
Yeah.
have any to that rusting capabilities. Just stomach acid and amongst other things, but no rusting capabilities. Just
Yeah.
corrosion. Regular corrosion by itself. Okay, so it looks like, again, Electricfortune is figuring out exactly what he has to do to collect that Novu table.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
like
not...
it is in this room. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not French, nor do I speak any French, so again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it is
I have no
definitely buried in this room. Looks like it's coming
Nabo or
up.
something.
YS is exiting 3. Now, sub-level 4, not really that exciting. There are 3 white candy pop buds, and I assume YS is going to go ahead and collect all of the white Pikmin possible.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth taking some time to grow additional white Pikmin here. They are so fast and so worth it. You just want to be careful not to use any of your purple Pikmin.
Yeah.
The desire to use the red Pikmin like that because they are largely useless, but you really want to be careful because it's not worth growing a purple for a white at that point.
Fun fact I learned as well about like any candy pop bud is if you throw the same color in it, it doesn't use up a charge of it. It'll just spit that one out, but you can still do 5 of any different color.
Nope, in theory, you can actually put all 100 Pikmin into a candy pop without killing it if they are the same color as that candy pop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are right now, again, about 3 sub-levels apart from these guys. Now, do we have a rim walk? Yes, we have a rim walk. This is a cool trick right here, if YS can get it.
Oh, looking good.
Okay, good.
May
Let's
lose
see.
the white here, but...
I would just toss it down onto that platform, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that.
Nice.
Wow, that white Pikmin was special right there.
Yeah, he was really... he knew what he was doing.
So anyway, what's going on there is you're using another one of those waypoint exploitations to climb up onto that small little rim of the level, hence the term rim walk, and just shoot yourself right across. Otherwise, you would have to walk all the way across the stage to get there, and that is a lot of walking with no treasures to collect. Now, sub-level 6, this can be a scary sub-level, and YS is playing it fairly well so far. Took down the Dirigibugs, which is important. Now, the other hard thing is mixing poison with electricity. When Pikmin are poisoned, they tend to run all over the place. And when they hit electricity, they die no matter what the circumstances are.
Looks like you got a pretty decently easy to deal with layout too. A lot of the times, I guess, in that room he's in right now, that room doesn't always spawn, but because it's so big, I feel like it makes it easier to just not get, like, clustered by everything. Alright, looks like pretty standard. He's getting everything in here. Hasn't lost any Pikmin. It was pretty quick too, so...
Yeah, YS is really turning on the jets right now.
Yeah.
He has the opportunity to make some pretty good damage on Electricfortune here, and heading into the very last third of this run, he's just trying to nail down his victory at this point.
This is one of my favorite things about Pikmin 2 also, that on Electricfortune screen, doesn't even care about that cannon beetle, because cannon beetles just can't kill Pikmin, apparently, if they're on treasures. They just, the rock breaks, maybe kills like 1 Pikmin, but it's a complete opposite in Pikmin 1. It'll hit the treasure and roll around the treasure and just kill everything on that treasure. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Pikmin 1 is an actually hard game, that's the difference.
Yeah, weirdly, I always found, like, casually as a kid, I thought this game was harder, but, like, as an adult, or, like, later on when I played it, I'm like, wait a second, like, how was I, like, I couldn't even pay off the debt. I just couldn't beat this game, but later on, I'm like, I don't know why, it's actually just such an easy game.
I'm sorry, you're blowing my mind real much here. I never knew you were a child at any point. I kind of always just thought you were in state.
Yes. It's a rare condition in which you are smaller than an adult, so.
But, like, same dude and everything. Okay, so right now we did not get Towerless Groink on sub-level 7 here, and what's actually very cool is YS is throwing those purple Pikmin right at the ground at the feet of that Groink and is doing damage to them that way. You do not actually have to hit the Groink with the leaves on top of the Pikmin there to make it hurt. Okay. Now, this is a very profitable sub-level. In fact, probably the most profitable in payoff debt. You are getting a treasure worth 100, a treasure worth 60, and then a treasure worth 300 Pokos, for a total of 460 Pokos in one sub-level.
This
Really,
is
it's
also a sub-level where for getting something is pretty much, this is the only sub-level where it really matters. Like, if you forget a 100 treasure, you can always get like an extra treasure here or there. But if you forget the 300 treasure here, you're kind of just screwed.
Oh yeah, you might as well reset at that point.
Yeah. My first run ever, I forgot whatever it's called, the thirst activator. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Think? We'll find out when one of them collects it.
Yeah. And it's easy to forget too, because I think it's generally the farthest away treasure, and this is a long sub-level. So, yeah.
Now, a quick little thing about the Groinks. You'll see that there is a bar going on their heads all of a sudden after their death, and that is going to be an indicator of them coming back to life. Once that hits its full thing, they will just get back up and continue to wreak havoc. 99 times out of 100, you basically get out of the sub-level before that happens. It's not the most fun thing to have happen to you.
There's thirst activator right there. One thing I'm hoping YS also does is Groinks are 10 Pokos, so that's some good money right there if he gets it moving before thirst activator comes in.
Well, Groinks are actually 7 Pokos, I must correct you there, but absolutely. I mean, that's still a significant find, especially with one being that close to the base.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Doesn't look like YS.
Decently close too. I guess he's leaving it though.
Yeah, he's just gonna leave it. That's okay. I would just be careful.
Oh,
buddy, come on, get it. It's right there. Okay.
Free money.
Okay, so let's take a look over here. Now, okay, not a bad SCX6. I think YS got a little bit better of a deal, honestly. But yeah, that's
so much there. There's poison, there's electricity, there's the bombs all in one place.
So at that point, I would basically deload everything and then just come in charging with purple Pikmin because those two Dirigibugs got together so quickly. You could pretty much corral them and just kill. But looks like he's handling it pretty well. Nothing too catastrophic happening. He's collecting that rusty screw that Strongman Lin absolutely despises.
It just looks so gross.
And we're going to get out of here if you're YS. You don't even have to look at Man-at Legs, let alone fight him.
Ooh, okay, alright. I thought he was, those...
Oh, good.
What are those beetles called again? I'm blinking.
Anode beetles.
Anode beetles, there we go. They looked like they were about to bolt up there.
Personally, I would like one to be named Anode and one to be named Cathode. It would make the most sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody asked me what I thought. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Alright, looks like YS is outside again, heading over to FC, I believe. I think he's got to get Ursidae moving a little more, but then he just goes straight to FC.
Yep, you got to go right to Frontier Cavern. That is what FC stands for.
Yes.
And once you're in Frontier Cavern, and honestly, depending on your bug body collection, you could make more money in Frontier Cavern than you do in SDX, depending on how much bug bodies you collect.
Alright, and now just the walk. One thing that's a little frustrating about that walk, maybe it won't apply here, but I always find I have to slow down just a second, yeah, like he's doing there, just to make sure everyone catches up, because those purples, even if they're flowers, are pretty slow.
Absolutely, and back in the day, it was a little bit of a race against time when you had to do the split, because an above ground treasure could get in and actually end the day.
Yeah.
That would be very bad, especially if you were like moments, not even a full second away from entering Frontier Cavern and your day is just ended. I mean, that's a run killer for you.
Yeah, and it looks like Pi is saying that the layout that Electricfortune's getting here on the set seat is actually pretty bad. All the treasures are in the same room, but they're really far away.
So, sorry, Electricfortune.
I assume he's going to opt to kill the... Yeah, it's probably for the best.
You might as well at that point.
Yeah, maybe just
throw up... He likes the purple, so he'll collect it.
Oh, he did. Okay, alright, nice.
Pie Pusher out here giving away secrets. Unacceptable, Pie. Unacceptable.
Hopefully.
Alright, so yeah, we got Tower Groin, and we got both above ground treasures in the same room, and we're going to see how they deal with it. Good news is the bomb shouldn't be running that much interference.
Yeah. unfortunate couple purple deaths there, but not the worst. I think it was only 3. One thing I learned also about the Groinks recently is, I guess the way their little mortars work is not all the mortars can actually kill Pikmin. Only one of the 3 mortars can kill Pikmin, and the other 2 just do knockback.
Yep. There's only one mortar that can actually kill. The other 2 are going to just stun and knock back Pikmin at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I have lost like 20 Pikmin to a Groink before, so they're nothing to sleep on. They're really not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Electricfortune's using the seed.
yeah, Electricfortune manages to get out of that pretty well. And meanwhile, with YS, we are going to head into Frontier Cavern 1. And now what's going on with this one is there are 2 buried treasures happening in this winter wonderland of a sublevel. Also a bunch of poison beetles. Now, we are not really going to spend that much time here with Payoff Debt. However, in all treasures, this sublevel is a friggin' gold mine, alright? You can flip those poison beetles for 2 bitter sprays each for a total of 6 bitter sprays, which you can then dupe. And that means use both captains to suck up 1 spray glob at once to get 12 whole bitter sprays. That's insane. Payoff Debt, they're just pains in the ass that kill your Pikmin for you. All treasures, they are pretty much the thing that defines the spray collection of that run.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about perception, kids. All about perception. All right, pretty nice Frontier Cavern 2 layout. Normally, the 2 treasures spawn 2 rooms away. Looks like 1 spawned closer and 1 was in the second room here. Now, he's opting to kill this red cannon beetle. Personally, that thing really can't hurt you. Now, if in Pikmin 2, the general rule of thumb is if you are going to kill something, you need to collect it, and that is 11 Pokos just sitting there right in front of the rocket.
I assume he may be just getting everything moving first, and then he'll head back, but... Oh, having a high treasure here. Does he know? Okay, he does. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Right, 1 more.
Now,
Nice.
personally, yeah, nice. Okay, that worked out just fine. What I like to do with something like that is just throw, like, the freaking Fury. Now, this thing is going to get weirdly caught. If you just take it off screen, it'll be fine. It'll just slide right down. All right, so again, I would really, if I was him, collect those two bug bodies there. Does not look like he's going to have enough Pikmin to do it. Normally, if you just leave a purple Pikmin to its own device, it will just waddle back with those enemies in time enough to collect them. That is okay. He has commanding enough lead time-wise that it's really not going to make that much of a difference, as Electricfortune has just gotten out of Subterranean Complex and is going to head right over to Frontier Cavern. Now, the fossilized Ursidae is going to be pretty far back, because if you remember correctly, he did not really load up a lot of blue Pikmin onto it. Should still get in before he gets into Frontier Cavern. It is a pretty generous time window here.
Yeah, I think it's actually about the same place that YS's was, actually. I don't know if he let it move for longer or what, but...
Yeah, now, it really shouldn't matter, even if they don't manage to collect it, which I've had a couple of runs where I didn't manage to collect it when I was a little bit rusty with the whole Enter SCX thing. You can really just collect it when you get out of Frontier Cavern. Doesn't really take that much more time, just kind of breaks the whole Poco route. Now, Frontier Cavern 3 is actually a little bit intense over here. You have 2 enemies that will just wander around at their own devices, and what that means is that in Pikmin 2, when you're dealing with any sort of enemy, you're going to be dealing with something that is in a set spot where it can spawn, a set spot where it can travel, and it really won't go out of that. However, Bulb Men, which are those little guys with the leaves, and the Bulb Bear, the black bulb orb with the red spots, will just kind of wander around the sublevel at anywhere it wants, no restrictions.
Yeah,
But
I guess it was close enough here that it didn't grab any of the small bulb bears with it, which is kind of nice, so you didn't have to worry about those, but I guess maybe they would have been free bug bodies.
Yeah. I mean, it's always nicer, especially because in those narrow little, like, corridors there, it's always nice to not have to deal with 5 enemies at once there. But it's going pretty well. Now, personally, I would have collected those Bulb Men themselves. You just mash through the cutscene real quickly, and you're golden. Now, what they can do, and Bulb Men, in case he does not collect them, I will explain now. They are basically Pikmin that cannot leave the cave with you, and for great reason. Because they can survive. They can survive anything, except for being eaten and being blown up. Fire, water, electricity, poison, high blood pressure. They can survive it all.
Looks like YS having a little trouble finding where the buried treasure is here. I think it's in the back left where he looked, but then decided to go somewhere else. But
Absolutely. Oh, come on, stun, baby, stun.
nice.
Leave them. If you kill an enemy, even as they're in their last eating phase, they will just drop the Pikmin right there. Unlike Pikmin 1, where enemies will just continue to eat after you've killed them for several seconds because they don't like you. But anyway, Boldmen will survive pretty much anything. You can't bring them outside of caves, though. Going to be very broken, can handle pretty much anything, unless you are playing the new hack that has just come out, allowing you to use Boldmen outside of caves. Now, Electricfortune should notice real quick there that he did not actually keep that treasure in the back dug up, so he's going to have to go back there and dig up the rest of that treasure. Meanwhile, YS is going to find his own buried treasure right there, and that is a ring. I think the Pink Menace, if memory serves correctly.
Yeah, this was a pretty low alcove layout here, so I think there was only just the one alcove for the hole. So
oh, big boom, big boom.
Huh? Oh, what happened? Oh, it was a bomb?
Yeah, so sometimes in Frontier Cavern 1, some bombs will spawn with the buried treasure there, which is why you never really want to walk away, especially in an alcove, just in case. And the bomb did spawn, he did not hear it, or if he did, he didn't realize it in time to save his whites. And a bomb exploding all of your white Pikmin is a good reason to reset. Unfortunately, for Electricfortune, you really wanted that to happen to YS, not to you. So again, YS is just chugging on along and will probably open up a full 3 sub-level lead right now. Again, Electricfortune's got to keep his head up and keep on going. You never know what's going to happen, but YS is just continuing to power on through right now, and we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, I can understand missing that. At least for me, in sub-level 1, I never really think of it as a dangerous sub-level. I always just think of the Bulborbs, but I forget that there sometimes are bombs in the alcoves.
Now, a cool little thing to note, if YS were to have to reset, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if he were, he would get put into a randomly spawning sub-level, right? That makes sense. Because we're using set seed codes and Electricfortune does have his set seed code on, he's going back to the same exact layout, which is why he's motoring through like a champion right now. He knows where everything is. He knows the risks. He should realize that that bomb is still going to be there for him, so that's why he's babysitting that real well. And
hopefully
he was going to be able to get out of there quickly. Probably. Come on, man. It's still going to be there.
Get it going. Get it. Go.
We are pulling for him.
All right, nice.
Okay, very good. So he'll get out of there nice and easy.
Might get some bug bodies here too.
Nah, treasures are moving too quickly.
I think he's got the small Bulborb, but the big one's not coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. So YS is cleanly just moving through the rest of this cave, finishing up sub-level 4. Sub-level 4 has the potential to be a real bear, but it looks like he navigated it pretty well, as evidenced by the fact that he is skedaddling right now. He's got to get that 1 marble. Interesting little treasure can be carried by 1 through 8 Pikmin.
Those are really common in challenge mode too, which is like kind of frustrating because in challenge mode I feel like usually you want to min load everything because you can put 8 on that 1 marble. It can be pretty annoying trying to like get 1 on the marble and then 1 on the enemy. They usually like to double up on the marble.
Yeah, it's a pretty good skill being able to sort of throw in a very specific timing to get 1 and 1. Because in all cases of enemies dropping treasures, you're going to have the enemy... You're going to have the treasure being able to pick up a couple of frames before the enemy, so if you stagger the throws correctly, you should be fine. Electricfortune also gets a good layout for sub-level 2, and he's taking it nice and easy. That Santa boot, otherwise known as the Icon of Progress, is pretty darn close, and he's going to go over and collect his present, which I think is the Joy Receptacle, after killing the hairy Bulborb that is definitely guarding that. Oh, he's got more guards than those dwarf Bulborbs. He's going to choose to ignore them and just whip a bunch of purples at the present, which is exactly what I would have done.
Wow, he got almost exactly the same layout as YS, actually. I think the treasure was in a slightly different place, but he had the high treasure and the rooms were the same, I think.
Yes, sir. And now he's going to go ahead and off-screen that present so it didn't do that weird little thing where it gets caught in the stump. Again, it'll come down one way or the other, but that's what you're going to want to do there.
Yeah. Oh, YS getting cutscened here. Hopefully he doesn't... Okay, nice, he moved away.
Alright, and now we're going to collect the Brute Knuckles, otherwise known as a very annoying item. Because once you've got 1, 2, 3 taps, you are using a punch animation, and which is really annoying because if you're trying to exit the sub-level, and that's happening, you're just going to sit there and punch the air for a while, which we've all been there in life, but not during a speed run.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times. I think my first run, I was just like mashing A, not knowing why I couldn't get into the hole. I'm like, what's going on here?
Now, back in the days of when I was running a category called Exploration Kit, and I do not recommend people run that category. It's very boring, very RNG dependent. You have to fight Man-at-Legs after getting that treasure, and that treasure is notorious for messing up the Man-at-Legs purple kill. Now, it looks like Electricfortune has come down into a top to bottom layout for sub-level 3. Not really what you want to see if you're Electricfortune. That's a lot of distance to travel. The nice thing about it is that the treasures are going to be in very predictable spots. Treasures have a tendency to spawn farther away from your base and with many enemies in the room. Now, if I was him, I would have killed that Bulbman because that's going to go ahead and challenge those purples to a fight. Could be fine because they will sort of take on the Bulbmen by themselves and probably will do a good enough job fighting them.
Decent
Lose
bullbear
a
kill
little
too.
bit more.
Got a quick stun. This is a
Okay.
little annoying here, having the bullbear or the mini bullbears near the electricity.
Yeah, at that point, you just kind of have to take out the electricity and sacrifice one Pikmin.
Yeah, that's what
If
I'm
you try
thinking.
not to lose any Pikmin at that point, it's just going to go slowly. You got to kind of learn how to oscillate back and forth between conserving your Pikmin and conserving your speed. And that's a skill that will come with time. I have no doubt, based on the way these guys are playing right now, that these guys have the potential to pop very fast times if they keep on developing. And I mean, I would like to know what YS's PB is, if somebody could find that piece of information for me, because he's not moving slow right now.
Yeah, it's either a 2-hour or I checked the leaderboards just before this. It's either a 2-hour or a 1:59. I'm not sure exactly the seconds, but
Will somebody in chat confirm that for us, and then Lynn will have to confirm it to me because I'm still not looking at chat. I have the opportunity. Literally, I'm holding my cell phone in my hand, and I am not opening up the Twitch app to look at chat. And I have no intention of doing it anytime soon, so you guys are going to have to do this relay of information for me.
yeah, it looks
I'm
like
totally.
Electricfortune, I think, had an easier time finding the buried treasure there, so he may have saved some time over YS on the sub level. And he's using the Bulbman as well to get some whites, so that could help him as well.
Yep, and you can bring Pikmin you grow from Bulbman out of the cave.
We'll see if he loses any time on this. No, it looks like he can switch back. Nice. All right.
YS is 2 hours and 13 seconds. So it's possible he's going to have to motor a little bit, but he's not running slowly right now, I don't think. Now he's got to exit on sub-level 7 right here.
Yes, that's one thing I always forget, is I always go to the next sub-level, and then it takes like 30 seconds to walk to the hole.
Yeah, that's a long one. Now, when I was back as a misinformed young lad with the attention span of a flea, even more so than I have now, I did not know that you did not have to kill that Bulborb, that Empress Bulblax in Payoff Debt. So I would do like my early Payoff Debt runs while killing that Empress, and my God, was that slow?
Yeah.
So unnecessary. All right, so YS is going to go ahead and leave Valley of Repose to go onto Perplexing Pool, or PP for short. Somebody clip that PP right there and use it however you want. What you're going to do there is go into 2 caves, Citadel of Spiders and Glutton's Kitchen. Now, you are going to go ahead and look at the yellow Pikmin. They're so pretty, they're so nice, and not collect them. All right? They're not necessary for Payoff Debt. For all intents and purposes, they don't exist. Kind of like the moon doesn't exist.
Yes,
And if it did, it would be a terrible celestial body.
Everyone knows that. It's true.
Thank you.
It's just
all right.
illusion.
So he's got about 24 minutes to glory right here. He can finish this run in 24 minutes. He will have himself a win and a PB. That's a good day.
Oh yeah, fun thing about the intro cutscene also, because he's gotten blues already, I guess the game never expects the intro cutscene to have the blue onion, so instead of coming in with a ship, it's just already there.
Now, what would be a tragedy is if the game had some sort of flag that wouldn't let it appear.
Yeah.
And then this run would be pretty messed up, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, even if you use the blue Pikmin for Awakening Wood and couldn't have them for Perplexing Pool, you'd still be able to do the run just fine. It would just be different and it would be a little weird. But we're going to see how he goes. So he's going to go right into Citadel of Spiders. Now, because neither one of these gentlefolk have collected any sort of additional treasures, they're both going to have to go ahead and collect Aquatic Mine before entering Glutton's Kitchen.
Yeah.
But Citadel of Spiders is, again, a big skipping cave right here. You're going to skip sub-level 1. You're going to skip sub-level 4. And in those meanwhile, you're going to collect a bunch of money. So he's just going to run right away. That tomato is named the Love Nugget, and we got no love for the Love Nugget because we're just going to let it go.
Yeah, I think it's only 30, right? It's not even very
40.
much Pokos. 40? Oh,
So,
okay, 40.
and for the Pokos per second, it's big, it's bulky, it goes far away, it doesn't move very fast. 10-second cutscene, definitely not worth it. Now, Citadel of Spiders 2, real tiny little level, but has 3 whole treasures in it, which is something you're going to want all 3 of those treasures, because all of them are worth fairly decent amounts. There is lipstick that's only worth 50, but when taken in combination with the rest of this is actually pretty darn worth it, especially considering normally there's not really that much separating you from the lipstick. All right, so we are going to go ahead, and that duck head, otherwise known as the paradoxical enigma, is buried in the ground. You're just going to have to dig it up there. The egg will always drop there, never a bomb. Citadel of Spiders is a little bit nicer than most caves are.
Yeah, I think Citadel Spiders is pretty much supposed to still be an early game cave.
Yeah.
So they're a little nicer.
And for what it looks like, Ys has pretty decent money for this time in the run, so take that if I was him. Well, let's see what he's got.
Looks like he only got 1 wall as well. Or is that this, or is that the next sub where you can have multiple walls in front of
Both of
treasures?
them, believe it or not.
Okay.
Citadel of Spiders has high potential to really mess with a fella. Now, it doesn't really look like Citadel of Spiders 2 is going to go ahead and with YS too much.
Kemi disagrees. She says that Citadel of Spiders is not nice.
Well, I'm not going to argue with Kemi. She beat me today, so whatever. So over on Electricfortune's screen, and we have not been paying a ton of attention to him, he's going ahead and finishing up Frontier Cavern 7. Now, both of these treasures here are worth 120 each for a total of 240, so definitely worth it despite it being a very large sub-level. I bet it would be really nice to be able to skip one of these treasures, but it's just not possible with how much they are worth. Same thing with that strawberry on Snaggerit Hole 2. It would be nice if you skip that. You can't. It's just way too expensive. That is kind of the paradoxical enigma of this game, if you will.
Oh. Looks like Electricfortune woke up that Bulborb. I don't know if that will come back to bite him.
Literally.
Yes.
All right, so over on YS, he is taking on Citadel of Spiders 3. Pretty straightforward sub-level, 1 buried treasure, 1 above-ground treasure, not above-ground treasure, 1 non-buried treasure, and just a bunch of anode beetles. Now, most people will choose to ignore the anode beetles. Again, with him being in the position he's in this race, I'm actually very much in support of killing them off. You gotta be safe, not sorry. Not sorry, Reese's. Anyway, that's my product placement for the day. Hershey, give me free stuff.
I've been getting a lot of those ads on YouTube recently. The guy that played Job from Arrested Development. I don't know if you've ever seen that. But
otherwise, he was Will Arnett, but yeah.
Yeah.
Will Job.
I don't know any celebrities' names. I just know the parts they played.
Like that. Okay, so YS has both of these treasures moving, and there is 1 more gate over at the exit. Luckily for YS, by the time these treasures get in, that gate's going to be down. He's going to be ready to move out of here. With sub-level 4, there is a very small chance, and I mean very small chance, that they're going to go ahead and have 1 treasure, otherwise called the time capsule. It's a little bit of a picture locket with a puppy in there, a kitty in Japan. That is worth 70 Pokos. If that is really good, you can skip Aquatic Mine for it. It's very rare that this happens, but you could do it if you wanted. All right, so we're going to see how this plays out. I may have been wrong. That gate's not going to go down before that second treasure
goes. Looks like Electricfortune also heading to PP now.
Now, we're all watching that time real closely here, because at 141.30 exiting sub-level 3, we are, again, in striking distance of a PB if we are YS. You're going to have to play well for the rest of it, but it could happen. Now, over on Electricfortune's side, they are going to go ahead and enter Perplexing Pool, so they're going to go ahead and get right into Citadel of Spiders to follow their competitor. Oh, wow, that's a bad layout for YS. Top to bottom right there.
Dang.
All right, he goes ahead and uses the pause menu just to make sure he knows where that hole is. God forbid he's barking up the wrong tree. That is a lot of dead time loss at this point.
Yeah, at least 1 gate, 2, maybe 2? Let's see.
Looks like 1. I might be wrong.
No, 2. Dang.
Sorry, YS. Sometimes
along the way, too.
war is just evil. As Kemi said.
Yeah, I guess that's, yeah. It's not necessarily hard, but it is evil. So.
That's a fair point. All right, so we are going ahead and going to Beady Long Legs. Beady Long Legs, again, in Pikmin 1, a little bit of a bear. In Pikmin 2, a bit of a pushover.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say rivals the difficulty of Bulbax in Pikmin 1. It's just, again, another one where as a kid, I just, like, couldn't even beat it. But it looks like he is, I assume, going for the quick kill. No reason not to. Let's see which quick kill he does, though.
That will not go quick kill. Any sort of pound damage done to that center thing is going to destroy any possibility of getting quick kill. Now, what's kind of interesting for the non-familiar person with this speedrun is if you hit the legs with purple Pikmin pound damage, you will do damage to the boss. That's something I did not know until I started watching and participating in the speedruns of this game. I thought the only way to kill it was to throw yellow Pikmin and curse at it. Apparently, there are other ways of doing it, and purple Pikmin is one way.
Yeah, it's weird. I assume the developers must have done that intentionally. I don't know why, but yeah.
All right, so YS is going to go ahead and exit Citadel of Spiders, and is going to go ahead and move on to Glutton's Kitchen. Now he is going to have to collect Aquatic Mine from the Jelly Float, and I think, fun fact for everybody, this enemy he's about to see is a small Jelly Float. It is the only small Jelly Float is seen in Pikmin 2 story mode.
I'm sorry, wait, where's the Jelly Float?
What's up?
Where's
not Jelly Float? My God, a Bloister.
Okay. I'm like, am I blanking here? Isn't that what?
See, what I'm doing is I'm thinking of an obscure, unknown, unpopular title called Pikmin 251, where there is a Jelly Float chilling out in that area.
Okay.
I have possibly disrespected Pickhacker and his ancestors, but that's okay. I do that on a fairly regular basis. And he seems over it, or doesn't seem like he wants to challenge me on the issue, so it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and use those blue Pikmin to go ahead and get Aquatic Mine from that Bloister. Only small Toady Bloister we're going to see in the entirety of Pikmin 2 story mode. And then YS is going to go right ahead and get into Glutton's Kitchen, where he will try to break the mighty sub 2-hour barrier. Will he do it? I don't know. That's half of the fun of watching these runs.
Yes.
And do you know, Lynn, if he has the Early Blues patch code on? Because I know he doesn't have set seed.
I don't believe he does.
We're going to have to ask him, because if not, if he doesn't have that patch code on,
legit.
I do not see any reason that this cannot be a legitimate PB if it turns out to be a PB.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's on decent pace too. Like Glutton's Kitchen, I guess at a top level would take 10 minutes. So he's got a decent amount of buffer room here, right?
Yeah, pretty decent amount here. So he's just got to get through this, keep his head about him. A reset would hurt. That I will say, a reset will hurt him. This is a very bad knapsack trick, at least for me. I struggle a lot with this.
Yeah, the timing's kind of rough.
Just like any other above-ground segment, a treasure cutscene while you're knapsacking is going to mess you up. He avoids that, which is good. Over on Electricfortune side, he has gone ahead and taking on Citadel of Spiders 3. And what he's doing there is breaking down a gate to find an empty alcove in which that shell is buried. YS is just attacking this knapsack with all of his might. Hopefully he gets it soon. He wants to leave himself a good amount of room. He is on that ledge, and he's going to go ahead and use Louie to whistle the rest of these Pikmin. Be very careful here. He got them all. Now, who's ready to see Pikmin 2 lag? Well, here we go. When you enter this, it kind of lags out a little bit because you are at the pretty much furthest extent of where you can be before your Pikmin start getting disinterested. The game does lag a little bit as a result. And now he is in Glutton's Kitchen. He has about 13 minutes-ish for a PB. And over on Electricfortune's side, he's just getting through Citadel of Spiders 3, and he is plucking all of those Pikmin out of the ground before he goes ahead and goes to the next sublevel. Any Pikmin left in the ground upon exiting a sublevel counts as dead. They sit there for all eternity wondering what they did to deserve such a fate, and that's not something you want to subject Pikmin to, even though, let's face it, Pikmin are kind of sentient idiots that deserve to die, but that's okay.
They are ants.
So now over on YS's side, there is 2 treasures here, 1 cookie and 1 bottle cap known as the Massive LID, Massive Lid.
Yeah,
You're only going to
not
want to
the
select Massive Lid.
not the best layout, I think, but at least he didn't get bread bugged, so that's good.
Right, that's what you want to avoid. And getting bread bugged refers to when a bread bug spawns so close to the treasure that no matter if you are a taskbot, if you're IID, there's nothing you can do. It's going to get the treasure before you can get to it, and you have to sit there and kill it with your Pikmin. That did not happen, and YS is moving right on. And we see on sub-level 4 for COS on Electricfortune, he's checking where that cave is. It's not a top-to-bottom layout, so that's an important play to make there. And he's going to go right for that exit there. I do
Gonna
not
lose
see
one.
what treasure spawned in that little pipe thing there, and it's not really relevant.
Man, what is this layout? Jeez.
I really hope there's not a gate, because that's actually not the worst layout if there's no gate. There's a gate.
Ah.
And unfortunately, he let half of his team go, just
Yeah.
sort of back. But over on YS's side, we have the blue and white little note clapper. I'm forgetting what that's called off the top of my head. Somebody correct me.
Something
That
clacker, yeah.
That thing can be picked up by a bread bug and taken. That compass cannot. So the priority is making sure that that little clacker doesn't get taken. But my God, this is a good layout.
Yeah,
He's
that
actually
was
running
really
away from
good.
the exit. He does not see the exit, and he needs to see that exit pretty quickly because he's going to be running away from where he needs to be.
Harmonic
synthesizer.
There
Thank
you
you. Thank you, game.
Yeah, I feel like it might be worth just pausing here, looking where it is, because he might just be on the complete wrong side of the sub-level.
All right, so he's actually not that far from the exit. He's just got to pause and check. Oh, he sees it. He's going for it. This layout was actually very good. He was thinking that there was going to be a little bit of a twist. There was not a little bit of a twist, and he's going right ahead and going into sub-level 4. Sub-level 4, we are going to go see a possibility for something called a moke throw. I will explain a little bit more if I see it needing to be done, but there's always going to be a bull bear there. Again, those things can just kind of wander wherever you want, so you got to be very careful with them.
Bull bear is also one of the enemies where if they are in the middle of eating something, when they die, they just eat it anyway. They're like one of the couple ones.
True.
Okay, at least if there is moke throws also, it's not the cop. Is it an invigorator or something? Is that what that's called? Okay, so there are moke throws though.
Invigorator. Now, what's going to go on here with a moke throw is there's going to be that treasure up on that high ledge that to the normal person is going to look like it's not possible to collect. And to the normal person, it's not. But then came along a runner named Moke-G, who wondered what happens if you just throw purple Pikmin at stuff and let magic work? Well, the answer is those things will ramp up the side of that little wooden tree that you're going to see here in a second, and will go right to the treasure. Moke-G, you are a hero, because otherwise there are 2 opportunities in Glutton's Kitchen for things just to die from an unreachable treasure, and you don't want that.
Yeah, Moke just built different, really. Just, figured it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was that also... Were people getting yellow Pikmin before that, and that made it possible to not get them? Or were people just hoping, essentially?
Well, people were just hoping. A lot of this run was built on paper clips and hope, much like the Gen 1 Pokemon game.
I don't understand that reference, but I assume it's a good reference.
For like the one person who will ever see this video that understands that reference, you're welcome. Anyway, so this moke throw here is going to be used with this small wooden tree off to the side, and we're going to see him throw the purple Pikmin at it in such an angle while moving forward that that thing is going to go flying upward. He takes his time to set up, and again, this is something, yeah, he can just throw a bunch of them at once and just kind of hope one of them gets it.
He only needs 1 here too, I believe, because that only takes 8 for that treasure. Oh, that's looking... Ah, thanks.
No, he needs to be more straight. See how he's kind of at
too
an...
much to the right. Oh, one
there
more.
we go.
Nice.
We got one. We got one. Now go get those white Pikmin and get it going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. It's like Electricfortune's got mine moving. Let's see if he does a little better with the knapsack.
All right, Electricfortune is going into Glutton's Kitchen right now. We're going to see how Electricfortune's set seed goes. For the most part, this has actually been a solid Glutton Kitchen for YS, even though it's not set seed.
Yeah. Just really the moke throws was kind of the only bad thing so far, but he got it in a decent amount of attempts, so it didn't lose too much time there. The bull board was just kind of, or bull bear, I guess, kind of trolled him a little bit by like walking in a circle, but...
Yeah, he was a real like mall walker there because if he left to his own devices, he will walk in a circle like that. So I call him the mall walker. Um, all right, so YS enters sublevel 5. This is a little bit of a hellish sublevel in that there's a lot that's going on, but you can actually lose a pretty decent deal of Pikmin here, so it's worth just kind of going for a little bit. You just
Yeah.
got to get to the last sublevel with like 50 Pikmin remaining, and honestly, you're kind of fine at that point.
Yeah, especially the blues really don't matter at all at this point.
No, they
He's
are
just
expendable. All right, so he now notices that that's going to be a wraparound alcove. He needs to avoid it. He's going to get
Boom
that
cone
party
there.
hat, otherwise known as the Boom Cone. I like that name.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call me in high school, fun fact. Again, I really appreciate all the laughs you're giving me because I feel like most other people commentating would be like, could you just shut up and focus on the run? So now he's going to go and collect this giant antenna, and an egg is going to fall on it and push it in a weird way, but everything
Nomatites
is
at least.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, nomatites. And we're just going to go ahead and just make sure those things are safe. Now, if he just keeps them off screen, they will be safe because the cannon beetles will not spawn, really.
Yeah.
So it's really worth just to keep it off camera. Again,
Even if
do
the
not
bull bears eat them, it's pretty okay.
Now, Electricfortune over there has avoided getting bread bugged because, well, he got the massive LID before anything happened there. So no bread bugging so far. Now, again, he always has the potential to get bread bugged in sub-level 3 and in sub-level 4, and, well, that's about it. But those are still good potentials to get bread bugged. That has not happened to YS, and YS is going to go ahead and charge head first into the last sub-level. Now, for anyone who's looking at the Poco count, he needs 301 Pocos. Well, mathematically, he's going to need some bug bodies, but that is very doable down there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's 6, I believe, anode beetles, and you usually collect at least 1 from getting the giant bread bug, so you should be okay.
Yep. So with the giant bread bug and the 4 treasures you're going to collect down here, that is 285 Pocos. He has to collect 16 Pocos and additional bodies. You have 2 bread bugs and about 6 anode beetles to do it. There you see him collect 1 anode beetle with the giant bread bug as he moves over to the ham, otherwise known as the meat of champions. Might be baloney, I'm not really 100% sure.
I think
Don't
it's
quote me on
ham.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, please get that before that bread bug does. Thank you.
Nice. Cool. And is that called the hideous victual? I think that's really the big value treasure here, right? That one's like 120 or something. Oh, and the giant bread bug's being really nice to him. Nice.
I know, right? Now that hideous victual can actually fly into the abyss sometimes, depending on how the team decides to program itself. So luckily, and we call that the UFO, the unidentified frying object, right there.
That got a strong exhale. I'll give you that one.
It's not my joke, so I'm actually not offended on that one.
Oh, okay.
If it was my jokes, you would have laughed, I guarantee that. But it can sometimes fly off into the abyss. Now, luckily, neither one of these runners are a runner named Kaizen, so the chances of that happening are very low. If you're Kaizen, the chances of that happening is almost guaranteed about once per play session. Sorry, Kaizen, you just have terrible luck. I don't really understand why. And he's going ahead and trying to finish up this sub-level. Now, if he finishes without anything kind of catastrophic happening, he should have himself a sub-2 hour.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's pretty good here.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I think
So
I don't know if he even needs to kill this anode. I think he can just flip it and then get the treasure moving.
Yeah, I would get that treasure moving ASAP, though.
Yeah.
That's really going to be the thing that limits him at the end. However, he is doing that so he does not zap all of his Pikmin, and you are not really a Pikmin runner unless I have commented zap in your chat at least once when you get zapped. I have to do it. Don't really know why. Have to, though. So, looks like he should be pretty much good to finish, and as we look over to Electricfortune also has to take on the similar Moke throw to get the white goodness up top. He gets it first try, good for Electricfortune. Now that bull bear has somehow wandered even further into the abyss.
He's
Now,
kind of low on
personally,
purples also. I didn't... Maybe worth just feeding whites to it here at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If that thing is going to give you a lot of trouble, you might as well just stack some whites to it. Because now he's munching quite a few. That's fine though. Everything is done. He is dead. All right, now YS can actually rest assured that this run will finish in a sub-2 hour and a commanding PB. Congratulations to YS. Now, if he just leaves now, he'll be a cap percent run at 9,999 Pocos.
Yeah, hopefully he notices.
Looks like he does. Now, I
Very
would
nice.
appreciate if he killed some more Pikmin, but I can't really tell him what to do with his
Wait.
life. SYS is
Okay.
going to finish. Now, we're going to need an official retime because obviously there was some delay
Yes.
at the beginning. He will not be sub 157, I can tell you that much, but he will be a low 157.
Yeah.
Okay. And over here, if we take a look at Electricfortune, who is going to become our sole focus for the rest of it, he underloaded the Invigorator a little bit, so he's got to go back and reload it. It looks like YS is going to officially finish the run. We can give him a time of roughly 157.30-ish.
Yeah.
I'm not really 100% sure. We'll have to look back at it at some point. But that is a victory for Ys101 and a PB at the same time. I will take that if I am him. That is a good day for your YS.
Really, it worked out that he couldn't get the set C code to work.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's a nice time right there. So now, over on Electricfortune, he is just making sure that those bread bugs don't do anything stupid. He's collecting the Invigorator, and now he's going to go down to sub-level 5, where his Pikmin count is fairly low, so I cannot say that he needs to genocide Pikmin like no tomorrow, but he does not have to be overly concerned about that.
Yeah,
so
at least also, he has a bunch of whites. I feel like it's okay to be low on purples here, but being low on whites would hurt. So...
Yeah.
He needs him just to flip.
Similar money situation right now.
What did you say? He's low on money, or he's good on money?
Similar money. He's going to need a couple of anode beetles toward the end, but he should be pretty much fine on this as well. You get 250 guaranteed from Treasure Pocos here, and 285 guaranteed from the other sub-level. Okay, it looks like a little bit of a misread, unfortunately, for Electricfortune. So, yeah. So you see how...
Another dark sub-level, it's kind of hard to see. Alright, looks
so
like
that's very uncommon for the antenna to spawn like that.
Yeah. I guess there just aren't enough, whatever they're called.
Alcoves.
Alcoves, yeah. They're all, I guess they were all connected because of the side paths.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, looks like he's got everything going, though. Just gonna ignore, let everything come back, deloaded. Although, actually, I guess... Because he did load the beetle in the middle there, I guess he'll have to babysit it a little bit, because I don't think that one deloads once it's been loaded in, because the ship is so
It'll go
close.
back down if it gets farther enough away, so he should be okay as long as he exits reasonably quickly. But if he doesn't, yeah, you're right, that thing can actually kill a lot of Pikmin.
Yeah. Alright,
But,
should be okay.
Yeah, he should be good to go.
Nice. Cool.
All right, and we have the final sub-level for Electricfortune, who has fought very well so far. Unfortunately, had a little bit of trouble with early blues. This would have been much closer without that trouble with early blues. Unfortunately, YS did not reset at any point during his run, and Electricfortune did have a reset. So it has gotten a little bit tilted in YS's favor. Can't really sit there and complain, though. You fought a good match, and it's all good. So now... At this point, he just has to finish up this sub-level nice and easy. Little fun thing that you can do is if you throw just one purple Pikmin right where he took out that electric gate, he does not have to worry about that giant bread bug because it will always route through that gate, and the purple Pikmin will always pick up the anode beetle in time.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
So it looks like we are just finishing up. Nothing overly complicated happening here. He's going to need... I think he's going to need all of the anode beetles here, but he should be okay in terms of bug money. Yeah, it was pretty tight. I don't think anyone's not going to be able to pay off the debt at this point, which is good.
We won't have an accidental cap % run.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? If it's good enough for Cap, it's good enough for me.
Alright, nice. Breadbug didn't troll him too much there.
Oh, we're going to see a zap. No, we're not. They were just far enough away. Okay, good. Yeah, looks like it's all ending pretty nicely here.
Yeah. Just a little bit above his PB, maybe a 202, 203 here.
Which, again, for a race is pretty good. You got to take into account, well, memory cards load slower than no memory cards, so that's always a time loss right there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were a couple of resets, but again, what this goes to show is if you just cut out the resetting time from early blues in that cave, this is another PB. Both of these guys are playing better than their PBs today.
Yeah, I wonder what the in-game time will be for Electricfortune here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious myself. It should probably be like a 158, 159 or so.
Alright.
Okay. So he...
I guess 6?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. You can maybe get the bread bug as well, if that's... Is that 3? I think it's 3.
That's 3 what? Sorry. Oh, the
3
bread bug.
Pogos for the bread bug.
2.
That's 2,
Bread bug.
okay. So if he
all right.
wanted to, he could do a cap percent run.
Yes, he could. And we would appreciate it. But in all likelihood, he should, really just finish the race at this point, obviously. But
Yeah.
it would be nice for the meme. I don't think he's going to do that because, again, he's trying his best here all the way to the end. We do not make memes out of people who do not want it, except if it's cap, in which case we do.
Can't read?
We're a really
Can't
nice group of people for anyone who doesn't know us. We truly are.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like that should be it. Nope, not quite. He needs that last anode body.
Oh!
Yeah, we had 2 screens show 9,999, so that's always real amusing. He needs that last anode body. Again, I would very much appreciate it if he just killed a lot of Pikmin.
Okay, alright, nice. I thought they were gonna route, like, entirely
Yeah, it
through
was
the
gonna be
electricity
weird.
there.
Come on, Bobby, wrap them all the way through the electricity. Don't let a single one survive. I think I need help.
Nice. 3 out of 4, I guess, today. 9999.
Alright. I think I need help.
Nice.
So, Electricfortune will be wrapping up his run in looking like roughly a time of 2:04, gonna be a little above 2:04, probably like a 2:04:06 or something like that.
Yeah.
No, wait, I cannot do math. 2:04:02.
Well, I guess it's probably a little lower than that because he started... Oh, wait.
It's gonna be a sub 2:04. That's
Wait.
pretty respectable.
I messed
Now-
up my hotkeys. I can't stop the timer. How do I do this? Let's see.
Right click on it and just hit stop at this point.
It should be
Or
space.
just
Why?
right-
Space isn't working. Right click.
Well, while we iron out these technical difficulties, we're going to go ahead and let the credits play out for Electricfortune because I do, in fact, really want to
There we
see
go.
what the in-game time is going to be. If I had to guess, it's going to be right around 2 hours and maybe 1:59. I'm not really sure, so we're going to see how it plays out. But anyway, I appreciate anyone who has stuck around for these 2 Pikmin 2 races today. If you only made one, that's fine too. Quite frankly, it's really the same game being played twice over, so you didn't miss too much from either way. So what's going to go on now is I'm pretty sure that's all the races for today, right? No
Yeah,
more?
it should be. There's one tomorrow, I think, but done for today.
Do you know what time that's happening tomorrow?
2 Eastern, maybe? Let me check the schedule.
Do you know what time that's happening tomorrow?
Alright, scheduling. Pins. Alright, it is tomorrow at... Wait for Google Docs. 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So,
2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can convert that into whatever time zone you're in. We are an East Coast-centric community, despite the fact that the Japanese runners are all better than us.
Yeah.
That's really what's going on there. So that's going to be our next race. And who's racing at that one?
good question. I closed it. Let me reopen it.
That's really what's going on there. So that's going to be our next race. And who's racing at
It
that
is Teddy Yoshi and Julian.
Okay, Petty Ursa, Yoshi, and Julian. That's going to be a pretty good race right there.
Yeah, I don't actually know. Teddy Ursa, what is your time?
That's going to be a pretty good race right there.
Waiting for chat to catch up. Let's see if I can Google it first. Oh, 148. Okay. Oh, but it was a bad run. Okay, so allegedly Teddy Ursa Yoshi, according to him, is gonna get a 145 in the race tomorrow. So.
According to Teddy?
Yeah.
I give him a 144. Anything less is a failure.
Yeah, come on, Teddy.
Alright, so we are just going to wait for the end of these credits. We're going to see what the in-game time is. Then we are going to sign off, and we're going to go ahead and see you guys again at 2:30 tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. I hope everyone enjoyed the run. Now, for anyone who may not be familiar with the speed run and has become very inspired upon watching this race, that, hey, maybe I can do a little bit better. Maybe you could, and go ahead and check speedrun.com if you're unfamiliar with that website. I applaud you for finding this Twitch through everything and knowing what a speed run really is. That's very impressive at that point. But I would go to speedrun.com and search Pikmin 2. You can see all the leaderboards for payoff debt, as well as all treasures, as well as challenge mode, and several other extensions that you can probably find through the leaderboard. So we're going to go over here at the end of the credits for Electric Fortune and see what that in-game time is. I'm very,
I'm guessing 201.
I am
guess.
2. I am 2 hours.
Waiting for it. Almost there.
I am 2 hours.
Still going. 39 white Pikmin.
One more.
155. Oh wow.
Huh. So it really did come down to the resets, huh?
Yeah.
Well, 155 in-game time. Congratulations, Electric Fortune. Obviously, you did not win that race. However, I would keep running this game. You are capable about of a 155. I'd say, like, right now you are. In a couple weeks' time, you'll be capable of a low 150. You just got to keep at it. So congratulations to both runners for genuinely impressive runs. And we do hope to see you back here on sundown tomorrow for a 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time race. And I appreciate everyone's viewership.
Alright.
I am TCB Trio. This
I am
is Strong
Strongman
Yep. And we are going to go ahead and say goodbye.
Cool. Alright, see you everyone.
This is